GG's.
Am I going? Am I going?
GG's to you.
Is he done? Am I going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was expecting a go.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, while Mr. 20 is doing the intro for Calm, we're just gonna focus on Ace a bit here.
I think they'll be done before I'm out of the cutscene, so...
Is it another cutscene as well?
It's like a minute 50.
Minute 50. But yeah, as you can see, the invisibles are so annoying if things go wrong.
Yeah.
Goofy can push them at the beginning, and that makes the fight horrible. But yeah, that should be it. So yeah, Ace is very close to finishing as well. Alright, final fight for Ace.
Yeah, and on the final fight.
Hopefully, fight.
Yeah, hopefully. I will. Thank you so much for having us. Oh god, I actually died. But yeah, here we go again.
Pull a crystal and you actually do.
Oh no.
And I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game.
You can play the game, yeah.
This just here is just a tutorial.
Alright, that should be
Alright, go.
Alright, hopefully it can start.
GG's, thanks for having us. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, Ace, for
Thanks,
being
Crystal.
here and doing run.
Good job, guys.
Yep, welcome to the GBA Com part of the block. This is a bit of a black sheep in the franchise. A lot of people have either forgotten about GBA Com or didn't want to deal with all the card games, but it's my baby. I love it a lot. And Nick and I are going to be here to walk you through this ridiculous RNG fest that's actually a lot more controlled than it seems.
Alright, so no barrel blizzard for me.
Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, if you get an early blizzard in the barrel, that's by far the best thing that's going to help speed up your early card farming. The biggest limiting factor in like how fast you're allowed to complete this game is actually the map cards, because you have to keep creating rooms as you go through the castle, and you have to do them in sequentially larger order for the map cards every time you go through. So it's actually quite a bit of planning. I've in the past tried to create algorithms that like try and tell you whether your current set of map cards is enough to finish the game from the point that you're at. And
You had like a thing on your calculator or something, I remember.
I mean, I've made shortcuts for my calculator, but like a full-out planning algorithm, it's a bit harder to work than you'd imagine. I was definitely too lazy to finish that.
It also just feels difficult to like keep up with that the whole time while you're running.
I have a question for you guys. What does this speedrun, or this game in particular, What makes it so different from other games?
What doesn't?
So everything in this game is cards, right? So like your attacks are cards, your magic is cards, your special techniques are combinations of cards, and like your MP is the fact that your cards run out of your deck and you have to reload the deck. Even your abilities are cards that drop from enemies and go in a separate deck that you have to use. So, most of the cards you get either from random drops from enemies, stories. Like the story will drop the first copy of most major cards in the deck, like Fire and Thunder come from Axel and Larxene respectively. And other copies of cards tend to come from Moogle shops and just random drops from objects all over the place. So in making good decks that can make good use of our special abilities, we're going to be managing like the different areas in this game that cards can drop from and like the probabilities and like the different directions that our decks can go in order to make everything flow together really, really quickly. That's probably the biggest difference from a lot of standard Kingdom Hearts games, and even like its cousins in like the command like style combat, like BBS and Coded and DDD. I'd say the card system is definitely more weird than that. You got anything to add on that, Sponsvig?
Yeah, we also need cards to open doors, which is, you already talked about that, but I think it's funny that we have this whole Keyblade thing, which is supposed to be opened at any lock, and yet we need to use cards in this game to open doors.
Well, it's because the doors aren't real. It's all our memories. The cards are our memories and the doors are our memories. You gotta use a memory to open a memory.
Sure, let's roll with that.
So, do you guys think that the RNG in this game, or is it the most RNG heavy game?
Yes. Like, without question.
But I've done a lot over the years to control the RNG in this game, and I'm proud of that. So, like, we're just gonna see how much that helps.
How much can you control RNG in this game, and how reset heavy can this game be?
I generally reset over that barrel to get a blizzard because it really does speed up that first farming. And the other big reset point is the one blue map card, which is the only really improbable thing that we try to go for in a run like this. That's about 50 or 60% of the time in a competitive run. Other than that, a lot of the deck building, like because it can go a lot of different ways and because there are lots of places you can get each type of card, it's very easy to have acceptable decks basically 95% of the time for all of your boss fights.
So,
Ghost Wheel.
We're going to be farming in Traverse Town for quite a bit, because we just kind of want to get some nice stuff to get us started. Obviously, we need to farm map cards so we can, kind of continue going through places. Besides that, other stuff we want to see is mainly stuff to power up our blizzards. So more blizzard cards and a potential Blue Rhapsody enemy card drop are kind of the main things that you would like to see.
My run got blessed. I got a premium bonus here that I get to skip.
Okay, I just got a Rhapsody card, so that's good.
Ooh, that's spooky for me. I would
Probably
like to get one of those. There's some real tension in farming Traverse Town, though, because it's by far the fastest place to get map cards because the enemies here are so weak, but you cannot get blue cards. And not only are blue cards really useful in that they contain treasure, save points, and Moogle shops, they're also required to open some of the plot doors in the game, so we have to do some blue card farming no matter what. By far, the thing that makes a comm run go faster or slower is your ability to farm effectively. So you'll see me a lot of the time, and Zvanzig too, knowing what encounters are going to spawn, knowing where to stand and when to use blizzards and stuff like that. It doesn't sound like much, but every single second adds up because you're doing these farming runs like lots and lots of times to try and get where you're going. I'm going to make this Teeming Darkness room here, and these different map card rooms have different properties, as I alluded to when talking about blue cards. The Teeming Darkness rooms not only are big and have lots of objects in them that can drop blizzards and Moogle points, they also have 8 enemies per room, and I also know that all the encounters in Teeming Darkness rooms, save the one where 2 shadows appear straddling you, are pretty good for us time-wise. So, it's definitely not bad to go either here or in the place where there are fewer Heartless, because those Heartless encounters are easier by comparison.
So, depending on the card you use for the door to unlock the doors, you get different room patterns and like different heartless patterns as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
Grind
basically.
faster.
The
rooms
actual
are
the
fixed.
actual
They're procedurally
precise
generated.
layout is still random.
But there's a pattern, right? Teeming Darkness rooms are big, even though they're procedurally generated big. This fight isn't going well. Everyone's spread out and I can't really get them together. That's going to be the best I can do, hopefully.
Yeah, I've actually gotten a second Rhapsody, which isn't too useful now, but could be useful in some situations later.
Yeah, multiple
If I have
Rhapsodies
more
are most
blizzard.
useful for Axel 2 specifically.
Yeah. Zero. Never
So
got
we're also
that.
going Teeming Darkness rooms also have a higher chance of dropping enemy cards. So I'm also going to be paying careful attention to which enemy I kill last in this room. I want to get blue Rhapsody cards because they power up blizzards for a reload, and I also want to get red Nocturne cards for later as well because we're going to be incorporating fires into some of our late game decks. So in this encounter here, I make special care to kill the Nocturnes last, for instance.
So me having a blue Rhapsody allows me to power up the Blizzard, which lets me one-shot soldier enemies with a regular Blizzard.
Yep,
That's just like a slight advantage in my fights.
it is.
Especially if I keep getting the sandwich.
The sandwich, no. I was able to work in those attacks quickly, so in this fight that wasn't for some reason that didn't turn into a combo finisher. Oh, we've equalized, boys. Oh, that's select that I pressed there. I didn't get a blizzard from the barrel either, if that wasn't clear. I got a 0 from my barrel.
I assumed that if you had, he would have called it out.
Yes. We're also looking for these Moogle points. We're looking for around 800 Moogle points coming from just object triggers throughout this first world forming. Ooh, and a blizzard from an object trigger. There we go.
Oh no.
The
I
comeback.
don't have one yet.
So another like macro routing in this game, right? You have to make sure that you're using the right values of map cards to get through all the branching paths, and you have to make sure that you're using the right kinds of rooms that you want to be using, like to get through places quickly. So that means that the other rooms, the rooms that are bad for you to go through, you have to save for boss doors. I just used the Sleeping Darkness on that plot door because I didn't want to actually go through it.
Oh, you're actually already opening up the plot doors, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't going to if I didn't find anything, but I found a Rhapsody, so I'm opening the plot door early.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start my search for blue cards because I want.
Oh, you're starting on it really early. Okay.
I mean, like I'm gonna farm these rooms of Traverse, but I'm not gonna farm 5. I'm gonna farm 3.
Oh yeah, that's reasonable.
So that's me opening the plot doors on the way instead of heading back. Ooh, Blizzard number 3. Let's go.
I'm shaking. He's getting the good cards.
Oh yes, a card break. I haven't talked about card breaks yet. So, only one card can exist at a time in this game, basically. And if you play a card that is higher than your opponent's card, then you will get a card break, and you will stun them while also resolving your action. Card breaks are very, very good, and you want to be on the positive end of a card break. You want to be the one card breaking your opponent as often as possible in this game. But yeah, as I said, so if we have the material to farm the next world efficiently, and with three Blizzards and Rhapsodies, I can pretty comfortably say that I do. I'd like to be able to start going to Olympus early and getting blue cards, because getting those treasure chests is what's going to allow us to get Blizzard Raid. And getting blue cards as early as possible is going to help us roll for the 1 blue as quickly as possible as well. The one blue is the only uncommon card that we need to get to open a plot door. That would severely slow us down if we like tried to route for like getting the one blue consistently every time. In the very early days of running this game, I would route for that by like, if I didn't get the one blue in the first world set, trying to go to Neverland or, God help you, Twilight Town to try and get like Warp and some of the extra blue cards in Twilight Town. But it's just like, if the run gets to that point, it's like you can't hedge around that. So yeah, one blue is a 1 in 50 chance. Blue cards are like approximately a third, and ones are a 20th. So yeah, in a normal route of comm, assuming you just take all the precautions you're meant to, it's about a 50 to 60% chance you're gonna get the one blue.
And the reason we need the one blue is some doors require very specific cards in order to open them. And there's one at the end of the game that requires specifically a one blue to open. So this is not even like a speedrun, we would like this in order to go fast kind of thing. This is a, we need to have this card in order to finish the video game kind of thing.
Yeah, because I have a Rhapsody and multiple Blizzards here, this encounter, which would normally be very, very annoying, is made a lot easier. Because I can kill the soldiers in one hit, like Zvanzig was saying earlier. The swag strats. Let's go check all these, because we're still pretty shy on Moogle points, even if our card is fine. We'll have a chance to get more Moogle points by farming barrels, and we'll talk about barrels when I get to OC, but I am not especially worried about our
I've got 3 Rhapsodies, but 1 Blizzard. What am I supposed to use these with?
If I had one thing, I would prefer to have the Rhapsody over the Blizzard. That's just a fact.
Yeah, I suppose.
It also increases the value. I mean, I shouldn't be saying this, but it also increases the value of going to OC early to have Rhapsody over Blizzard, because it's easier to get other Blizzards from barrels than it is to get other Rhapsodies later. And, like, you could get a Moogle room as well if you have an excess of points.
Oh, I'm out of teamings. Great. I don't have any more Teeming Darkness cards, so now I have to farm in something else. Which isn't, like, the worst thing in the world. The encounters in,
not
like...
in Sleeping or Meeting Grounds. I actually don't... I haven't even routed some of those encounters, because they go past, like, 3 waves. It's stupid.
Yeah. But, like, in Tranquil Darkness, your encounters tend to actually be a little bit faster.
Wait, they definitely are faster. There are no 3-wave encounters, there's no sandwiches. You just don't get Nocturne spawn last. And it's, like, questionable, the cards permitted if you're, like, only using Tranquil Darknesses, because, like, you get 4 per room as opposed to 8 per room.
Yeah.
I've never explicitly timed it, because it's just, like, it's a little random what you get anyway. Like, getting teamings is a bit, like, going for teamings is a bit of a gamble in, like, Farming 3, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, like, trying to rigorously time it for, like, later with, like, Thundaga farming.
I mean, that's an instance of me being a bit lazy, because I just sort of will generally prioritize the card value anyway. I'll use a teaming or a Tranquil based on, like, I don't want to use a 9 teaming, for instance, if I'm trying to get value.
Right.
But these are all concerns for later. For now, I'm on my last room of farming in Traverse Town, and we will be fighting guard armor shortly, once I've cleared this room of enemies and cleared this room of objects.
Now, because all this, like, card farming is a thing, it's gonna be really hard for you guys to tell who's ahead. In fact, we're not gonna know who's ahead most of the time.
I'll be able to tell if you have...
I mean, I can tell that you're ahead just in terms of you have Blizzards, but...
Another thing to manage in these fights, if you'll notice me walking back to get this experience, unlike in Recon where the experience just comes to you, you have to like be really mindful of killing enemies in such a way that you are able to collect the experience efficiently, because the fight does not end until the experience either despawns or is collected. And waiting for it to despawn can take a considerable amount of time. Good, we want to see the points. Give me the points. I will bring us back into this race.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'd be shocked if we're still ahead after this. Ghost is very good at this game.
Alright, guard armor time. Hitting all 4 limbs. And we've practiced attacking guard armor so that we can hit a lot of limbs at the same time as well.
I'm terrible at that. I legitimately should put like some more time in actually being good at that.
We didn't get a lot of high-value Kingdom Keys to supplement our deck, and guard armor is covering us with its cards here. I think I'm just gonna try and kill the arms. That's gonna block off Goofy Tornado for us later, but I think we have Donald anyway. We only have 1 Donald. If you're like doing bad on guard armor like we are, you can try and go for Donald to like get high output magic damage, or if you knock him down with the trick card, and you get guard armor's trick card by card breaking him, then you can hit him with a Goofy Tornado for about half his health if you get that. So you have to actually keep an eye on your friend cards in this fight if your deck isn't like 4 Blizzards and 2 Rhapsodies, which is most of the time. The boss experience doesn't even despawn, so you have to be extra on top of getting that. Don't teleport. Rude.
Alright. Come on, game. I would love a Blizzard.
You're not meant to card break the chakram throw, but I kind of went for it. Because it's like, if you just sit around, it wastes time too. If you card break the other attack or the firewall, it's a much more consistent way to land that. That was just terrible.
So I may as well add.
That's swag though. I don't think I've Goofy Tornado to Axel in quite a long time.
Yeah, I guess
that when we're leveling up, we're taking CP a lot. The first reason for that is because we like to make big decks with lots of damage in them, and so those decks are expensive, and we actually do need quite a lot of CP for them, especially in the later stages. But also, we're going to be trying to get our health low to activate Berserk, and so we want to actually keep our HP low as well. Taking slights is actively bad for us because we want to stock cards to have a higher total value as a regular combo, but we don't want to activate the special attacks because they do less damage than when you just get a lot of regular attacks off with Berserk happening. Okay. So here in Olympus Coliseum, we're looking for blue cards, but the very first thing we're going to be looking for is a Calm Bounty. It is a 1 in 5 chance to find a Calm Bounty. And when we do, we will get access to Blizzard Raid, which is going to speed up our farming in the first world set here considerably. So until we find it, we have to make smart use of the Blizzard area of effect like we've been doing here. So here we can either be optimistic or pessimistic. Ooh. That's the bad fight. I'm not going to stick around for this. It takes too long to kill. But there's a version of this fight with only 3 Rhapsodies that I can kill the Power Wilds instantly by firing off at them. And so by standing in front of them as opposed to just starting to run, that's what I was believing in.
So I'm at the point now where I'm just going to open the plot doors because, you know, I'm not getting blizzards, it looks like. So I might end up having to go into Olympus with only one blizzard, which I would like not to do because farming encounters
We'd at least like
one
2
blizzard.
generally. And there's my calm bounty. We take those.
Yeah, so I'm still trying to get one in the overworld objects here, but it's looking pretty dire.
We're gonna keep hitting barrels because barrels are lucrative object triggers. They often spawn in easy fights, and they also often spawn cards and Moogle points. So yeah, now we get Blizzard Raid, which is a sleight that uses the combination of Blizzard, attack card, attack card. I don't think I have other cards. I do have one. Okay, I have some stuff. Probably was meant to put that in before guard armor. And so, in Olympus and Monstro, we're paying special attention to which rooms have barrels, and we want to use those quickly. Okay. That's fine. Let's go Beat Cloud. Gonna wait for him to use this. And then throw this from far away. The cool thing about Blizzard Raid is that it does a lot of damage position-based. Like, if you are far away, at a certain distance, then if you hit them as the raid is slowing down, you get them 4 times for about the damage of a regular Blizzard. And that all gets boosted by the Rhapsody, and that's going to be our main early game boss strategy. Alright, so we are still going to be looking for blue cards. We're also going to be looking for a second calm bounty, because the second calm bounty is going to get us Fire Raid in the next world. But now that we have Blizzard Raid, Olympus Coliseums are very easy, very consistent. The cool thing about Blizzard Raid, like, you'll notice how wide it is on, like, the Z-axis, like, the depth axis. That it can hit these Power Wilds as they're spawning in. Not this one.
Yeah, raids are nuts. They just hit everything.
But if you, like, move up and down, like, you sort of mess with your sweet spot.
Yeah.
You start in the middle of the screen, and it's just very nice. Oh, I definitely didn't want to heal those guys, but it actually doesn't matter since I'm just going to hit them with a 4-hitter combo anyway. That all worked out. See, that version of the fight where the Power Wilds spawn instead of the Bounty Wilds is nice, especially if you're close enough to the Rhapsodies to hit them all together.
Come on, game! This is like my nightmare scenario, not getting blizzards. I'm just gonna hit everything in that room again, and if I still don't get anything...
We're probably gonna use the white room on the door. White rooms are very big, and it's very difficult to kill the white mushrooms with this stuff that we generally get in a comm run.
At least I'll have lots of Moogle points.
Yeah, I don't currently have, like, any Moogle points.
And well, I guess I'm just gonna fight guard armor. The blizzard is not coming.
If you have lots of Moogle points, then it does make sense to try and fish for a room, I think. As painful as it sounds.
Yeah.
The regain comp made the card game much better. I'm not sure about that. I think that, like, there's definitely an argument, like Proud Mode and the extra bosses in Recom are all great additions, and I like playing it in 3D, but they definitely messed with the way a lot of the attacks work, and I think that the original just is a lot cleaner in that respect. The 2.5D sort of, like, isometric combat system, the way that card breaking and hit stun on attacks works. Healed them again. You definitely don't really notice until you try and speedrun both games, for instance. But there's a lot of nuance to original com, which you gotta respect. Is that everybody? Guess it is.
Well, at least in
didn't
this
find
part,
another calm bounty yet, so I'm gonna continue looking. Let's go spawn another room with barrels in it, and then try and clear those out to get another one. It's better here than in Monstro. Monstro's got some bad encounters with green Requiems, and this only really has one bad encounter with Rhapsodies we don't want to deal with.
at least in this run, I don't have to worry about Axel teleporting out of my Blizzaga.
Here we go. That's a calm bounty. I don't mind getting barrel spiders, they're an easy encounter. Yeah, I messed up the Axel fight pretty bad. Just gonna go up here and kill these 3 barrels since they're here. We're just gonna get another... Because I don't have enough movable points. I would like to be sure that I'm thorough with barrels. I think this is a bad encounter. I think I'm gonna skip it.
Alright.
Alright, well, we got some cures. It's not really what I'm looking
with some luck, like if I get like a Moogle room here or something, I might just make it and try to fish for some blizzards in that, because
Blizzard are 15% from from leaf packs and Moogle rooms. Like, it's very, very easy to get some blizzards.
Yeah, right now it should definitely be easy to get some.
Alright, so he's got a Temper Flare. I'm just gonna let him use it. He uses that. Easy Hades. Hades can be a hard boss fight casually because he can go berserk himself and like deal lots of damage and stunlock you with his attacks, but with the Blizzard Rage strat we have going on here, it's almost laughable. Atlantica is one of the worst Riku decks in the game. That and like Neverland and Wonderland or some, like, I personally hate the Atlantica deck the most, but...
Okay. So at least the game was nice enough to give me a Calm Bounty on the first encounter in Olympus, so I can immediately get my Blizzard Raid.
Yeah, that's gonna help you out.
Yeah.
Especially, like, the differential there when you have one Blizzard is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
I'm pretty sure the decks in Recom Riku are similar, if not exactly the same, as GBA Riku.
Yeah, when I played it, it felt pretty much the same.
There might be a card difference here or there that I'm not remembering, but it's close enough. I'm pretty sure the Twilight Town deck is different, because I remember that deck being really, really important for Riku 6.
I'm just gonna... Since I'm having to do this with crappy cards anyway, I may as well beef it up a bit with some of the better attack cards I've been getting.
So, I'm making these rooms Sleeping Darknesses because I know I'm going to be spawned back here by the story. So I'm making sure to get as many barrels as I can out of this Monstro. Now, there's some Monstro encounters that are good, and this is one of them. This is just 5 tornado steps.
Oh, man. It feels real good when you get that one.
Yeah. What separates the practiced comm runners from the unpracticed ones is, like, knowing all the encounters and just, like, going a bit hardcore with that kind of stuff. So yeah, these barrels are great encounters because they're very consistent. There's a fixed number of spawns, and we keep getting the worst one. It's like 2 out of 3 to get an encounter that's faster than most normal encounters, and 1 out of 3 to get an encounter that just drags on like this. But you know you can kill it with raids, and you know you're going to get a map card out of it, and those map cards are always good. So we got a little unlucky with our barrels, but...
Alright, there's my
definitely cool.
second calm bounty, so I can move on here now. The problem is just going to be that fighting these bosses with only 1 Blizzard Raid is going to be kind of rough. So we'll try this.
Do you remember at what time abouts we started, Swansea?
Well, I mean, I'm running a timer, so I know I'm 35 minutes in. And you started about 3 minutes after.
Yeah, I'm not running a timer, so.
Yeah.
We have a gentleman's agreement with a backup save if we don't get the 1 blue to not mess with the race farther than we have leeway to, basically. But we shouldn't have to go so far. KH2 Rando is great, but I don't think it... I mean, here I am saying this as a comm runner. Like, it makes as much sense in a relay as it could. But yeah, I like Rando. I like Rando races a lot. Definitely a fun thing to check out. We didn't get that pixel. We should still be okay. This is a mediocre cage fight. Would have been a lot better if we had managed to get perfect raids.
I'm kind of scared of doing Hades with 1 Blizzard.
That's not advisable. Even if you got a... Like, you'd have to get a 5-hit raid, and I don't think I've ever gotten that to really feel comfortable.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could get a 4-hit raid and then just struggle after that, essentially.
Good.
But, you know, it's kind of like, what else am I going to do at this point?
Gonna add this.
And before I get a Moogle room, but it's a 1. Yeah. The other day I had a run where I was looking for like my second calm bounty for like 20 fights or something. And then I got one, but it was a 1, so I was like, well, I want to keep that.
I mean, we take those, right? Like, you never sat.
Sure. But it was just like, why am I still in Olympus?
Heated Truth Room here, where you have to kill these shadows quickly, can actually be really annoying with the deck that we use because our Kingdom Keys are bad. So you gotta be really careful.
Well, fuck it. I'm fighting Hades. I don't know what else I'm gonna do. We'll figure it out. Gonna wait for him to do something I know I can get 4 hits off.
Just scrambling a bit there to make sure we get this done. It's gonna be a bit of a slow finish because there was a lot of shadows at the end here, but what are you gonna do? Go get my cloud back. Actually could have been really bad if I didn't kill him in that reload because I had to would have had to reload 3 times and the whale gauge decays quite a bit and I would have been out of resources because I didn't mention when I was talking about sleights earlier, you're using 3 cards to make a technique, right? But you lose for the rest of the fight the first card that you use. So in the case of all these Blizzard raids, we're burning all of our magic cards up in the first reload of our deck. This works great with our Blue Rhapsody cards because they only work for 1 reload anyway. But that's the gas that our deck has. That's the damage that we're using. So very, very important to make sure that we're using it appropriately. So now we're in Wonderland. This is where the majority of my blue card farming is going to take place. Because everything here is weak to Blizzard. So we're going to make sure we get every blue card that we need for the rest of the game. I already have another Calm Bounty for Destiny Islands, so I just need another... I need a Moogle Room to buy my attack cards for the Berserk deck, and I need 2 more blue cards that aren't the 1 blue, just to open doors, and I need the 1 blue. So if you get really lucky and you get the 1 blue before this point, you can actually, and like you get all the rest of your blue cards too, in like Olympus and Monstro, you can actually dip and go to Traverse Town to get map cards faster. But an advantage to going to Wonderland, if you have to go to Wonderland, is that you have more experience, which makes getting into low health and staying there by not leveling up in the mid-game more consistent. And it also makes it so that you have more Calm Bounties, so you can fish for Divine Rose in Hollow Bastion. And have a bit of a faster Hollow Bastion. Can you hit, Sora? Can you hit the Nocturne? I'd like to say hashtag calculated for that large body, but I actually didn't know it was going to spawn right then.
Oops. I'm fighting lots of barrel spiders at the moment.
Barrel spiders are good.
I'd like if the barrel just gave me, you know, Blizzard. Like, I'm 40 minutes in and I have 1 Blizzard. This is, like, the absolute nightmare scenario for me right now. Okay, I got a Moogle room, so how many Moogle points do I have? 900. Yeah, okay, we're doing this.
You'll get another Moogle room. This Blizzard is happening.
Yeah, it needs to. Like, I'm just... I think what I'm gonna do is... Just to be safe, I think I'm gonna, like, exit the world real quick, save, and then open the pack.
I think that's a good idea.
That's what I did back in my ESA run, because that was a very similar kind of situation. Because, like, without blizzards, like, Wonderland farming is just also going to be horrible.
Yeah, you want to. You don't need more than 2, but you want to.
Alright, well, I got another Moogle room already. Okay. I'm, like, on my way out now. Yeah, you know what, I'll make the Moogle room right here. Well, I should have actually made it in the first room, but whatever.
This is the bad counter that you get in Teeming Darkness, because it has 2 large bodies. Ah, it spawned behind me? Thought I was far enough back.
Alright.
There's
not too many different cards that you can get at this point, so Blizzard should have a pretty high chance of showing up, but we'll see.
It's the same all over the time. Like, basically the way Moogle shops work is the cards you can't get are replaced by Cure, which is why I opened the...
Alright, well, I got 1 Blizzard and 1 Fire, so we'll take that.
Oh, yeah, you take it. That's
Yeah, I guess we'll go fight Parasite Cage now.
I like Days a lot. I like Days gameplay a lot. As well. I thought the panel was cool. The panel system was cool. I thought the missions were cool. It's a shame that it didn't really get immortalized in the remakes the way Com did. Like, I've got my gripes with Recom, but I'm glad that it exists.
Alright. This should be at least somewhat reasonable to run with now. Obviously, that'll cost me some time.
It won't matter if I don't get the one blue here.
Oh, I still need that too.
My heart is like seizing up here over the possibility of not getting the one blue. Ooh, we did get a Nocturne. I'm happy about that.
Well, I got max damage off all my raids, so now it's just finishing them off.
He also got the Crescendo enemy card. Rest in peace.
I'm gonna have to pay attention to like getting enough blizzards later on now as well, because otherwise like Axel's gonna be a real problem.
Good, I caught that guy before he left. He was piecing. You guys saw it. He was piecing.
Wait. That door. No, we're not fighting this. This is a bad encounter.
Com was actually my first KH game, so, like, I had played a bit of KH1 at a friend's house, so I had enough context to, like, know what was going on in Com, but I didn't have a PS2, so this was how I got started.
Yeah, I think this is how you become a Com runner. You just have to play Com as your first KH game, because it was the same for me. My friend had just like discovered the wonderful world of Game Boy emulators, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's this game?"
Premium room? Yeah, so those really rare cards like that, we actually want to use them in boss stores and stuff and like regular rooms quickly, because like I don't want the stack to be there cluttering my map card menu. It's just not very nice.
Goofy, let's go! I finished off the Shadows room with Goofy. Always a classic.
Good way to do it.
Well, if you don't have any other cards, especially. That or reload.
Still no Moogle room, still no one blue.
Oh, you're still on
no
room?
Still no... What?
You're still on no Moogle room?
I am. Moogle room's not very common.
Yeah, I had a run recently where I was farming like a long time for the one blue, and then I finally got it, then I moved on, and I got to Acre Wood, and I'm like, wait, I don't have a Moogle room.
Moogle room's like 7%. If I remember right. It's almost never a problem compared to the one blue. But you know, it's there. It's spooky.
Hey.
Yeah, remember, given that as a blue card, the chance it's going to be a 1 is 1 in 20. So whenever I see that blue card, I'm like, oh baby, give me that 1 in 20.
Yeah. Alright, well now we're in the same place again, at least.
Another Nocturne. I don't really need that. Please. Please. Please help me.
I can't believe this is now the second marathon run in which I've had to make a Moogle room for blizzards.
Their spawns are like slightly influenced by your position, but it is also random, so like I'm not really sure exactly how you're meant to ensure that the crescendos spawn at the same side as the creeper plants. I don't think you can in that encounter. I did not mean to take HP there. That is slightly awkward. And that I don't know what the Berserk threshold is at 125, but we'll find out. Alright, so this is Card Soldiers. This is a mini-boss. They're real easy. We just hit them with raids like we've been hitting other people with raids. With the added caveat that I'm just waiting for Card Soldiers to spawn most of the time. So I can hit them all at once. And even then, it didn't turn me around. Okay, that's fine. I should be good at it. Because of the XP anyway.
Got a 9 blue. Which I think is just as likely as 1 blue.
Yeah. It's 10% 0, 5% 1, 2, 8, 9, 10% 7, 15% everything else.
See, he just knows all of these numbers.
Which is different than in Recom, actually. In Recom, not only do you have roulette rooms, which help round out your card count and card values and random jokers that make it so you don't have to add, you also get a lot more low cards in Recom. So the 1 blue isn't as big an issue. But I think everyone who played this game casually as a kid ran into that 1 blue door, because it's very common to want to use, like, early cards at the beginnings of maps, and it's very common to want to use blue cards because they're good. So, getting surprised that, like, that deep into Castle Oblivion, that's a real, that's a shared moment.
It's not good design, let's be real.
Meh. Is whatever.
I'm not a fan of it.
I'm willing to forgive it.
I'm willing to forgive it. I like the game, but I mean, even games I like, I can criticize things about it.
Like, I think you can objectively come up to me and say I was say I was bad design, but I still like remember it fondly, having seen it, look at it, you know? Like, so I'm just like, my perception is undeniably colored on this.
I guess we'll do this. I'd like to farm more teamings, but...
Yeah, Tom's 100% is fill out the journal, which is get every type of card, which is get every type of enemy card. I have done Com 100% more often than like, most people would care to admit. Yeah, like...
I'm having some scuffed fights in this room here.
My Wonderland grind has gone very, very smoothly, except for the outcome. I'm not bitter. I'm prepared. I'm prepared for this to go poorly. I'm prepared to let the Guardians of Light down. I'm prepared to let my future teammates down. But I will do my best.
Well, we still have 20 more minutes, or more for you.
Like, this is pessimistic, Ghostwheel. Like, I'm spawning Teeming Darknesses, like, over Teeming Darknesses I've already done, like, already. Just because, like, I know what this game is going to do to me right now. Maybe it's not pessimistic Ghost Wheel. Maybe this is realistic Ghost Wheel. Like, oh, baby! It's the one blue.
Oh, snap.
So I still have to find the Moogle room, but so we're not done.
Oh, you still have to... Wow. Okay.
But like, this is the weight off my mind.
I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I have everything I need other than the one blue. Have you gotten a Nocturne?
Yep, I got a Nocturne. Got 2.
I've gotten none yet. I have 3 Rhapsodies though.
Second Nocturne is not really useful at all. Like, I've kind of stopped ever having to go to the second reload in Vexen 2, for instance.
Blue 2, no.
Yeah, the Jokers are a godsend, but the Jokers are just as much RNG as the one blue is for the recom speedrunners. It's one of the reasons why they like to run beginner. Because the beginners, on beginner you get more Jokers. This is my second crescendo enemy card as well, which is not really what I'm looking for.
I think the last run I did, I had 3 of them. I mean, that run also ended up going to the 1:15 time on Wonderland farming, so, you know.
This Moogle room, it may not seem important, but it is required.
Oh, we're gonna get a lot of value out of that. It's gonna give us, like, most of our endgame cards.
Yeah, like, there were times in the old com running, and you all allow me to be nostalgic about the old days of comp speedrunning every now and then. But
the Omnislash days?
Yeah. Back in the day, you know, we used to use like 2 or 3 Moogle rooms. One to get the raids deck going, another to get clouds in your raids deck, and another to get arrows and more clouds for your endgame deck. Yes, the crescendos are summon boost, which powers up your summons at the expense of using magic. And we actually did care about crescendos in the old routes when we used Cloud more than we do, but since we've compactified things into one Moogle room and we're getting different things than Cloud, and Cloud's like really rare, it's difficult to expect to work him into your boss decks. But Cloud does a good job against, for instance, Larxene. And it's a lot safer than what we do now, which is Berserk.
If I end up being here for a really long time, I may try out the black rooms. Do have a few of them.
The black rooms are, if you have them, you should just use them. Because it's guaranteed.
Yeah, it just feels bad because it's, you know, you're using one card to get 2 map cards back. I know it's higher chance blues, but, or well, 100% chance of blues even.
Omnislash is a lot more powerful in GBA than PS2. There's a lot of slights that are really, really good in PS2. But, like, I think Cloud is a lot better in GBA. And the raids are also certainly better in GBA. Because in PS2, not only is it 3D, so it's, like, difficult to hit multiple things with the raids, you don't get, like, the 4-hit raids. Like, anything that's hit by a raid once doesn't get hit again. So it's basically just, like, a glorified Blizzard. Come on, game. Don't be miserly. Give me that Moogle room. I shouldn't complain. This farming has been going pretty expediently so far, and everything we do here does still save time when we have to farm other map cards. And yeah, the card farming definitely makes watching a comm run a bit of a chore sometimes, but it's not like this all the way. There's lots of cool boss fights, and there's lots of maneuvering through map cards. It's definitely a very, very interesting speedrun to play, and it's a very interesting speedrun to talk about. And I hope you guys will come to me with any questions, and I'll be able to engage with all of that. Still nothing? Still gonna bilk me on these? Okay. That's fine. We'll go again.
I'm at least glad that we're both having to farm in Wonderland for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of... I didn't really expect this to be the way this went down, where I'm just, like, trying to stretch for a removal room here, but...
Yeah.
It's better than the alternative. I was waiting on the one blue.
I got it.
The one blue?
Yep.
Alrighty.
So we're moving on.
Screwed. Gold rooms? No, I'm looking for the Moogle rooms, where you can buy cards.
So I'm now fighting Trickmaster, which is like... You want to talk about the old strat for this?
But yeah, you used to get on the table. It was great. Like getting a trick card, but I realized very late. One of the last improvements to this route is that you can just get up to him and get 4-hit raids on the knee by taking advantage of the wall.
Yeah.
That was a bit counterintuitive.
Well, I mean, a head is still kind of like a very...
I probably have more map cards than Zvanzig does.
Yeah, because my map card...
If I'm stuck here much longer, then I'm gonna be sad. Yeah, premium cards are one-time use for battle, but less CP cost. That's correct. CP cost is not much of a factor, but then again, the premium card drawback is also generally not much of a factor in this run. So if we get a premium boost, we still ignore it because it wastes time and isn't necessary. But, like, if we get a premium card in a Moogle pack, there's some times where we'll take it. Like, if it's magic, we definitely take it. And if it's attack card, we sometimes take it.
Alright, so Halloweentown starts out with an encounter, and this is where I'm going to let them hit me for a bit so that we can get into low HP for Berserk strats for Oogie. Because Oogie is a really weird fight that is just horribly slow if you do it any other way.
You see, that's the other advantage of doing the one blue checkpoint here. You can do it for Moogle rooms as well. I can't even get bailed out by the 115.
Oops. I ended up leveling up from the encounter, so now I'm back at full health. So now I'm gonna have to get into another encounter.
Yeah, what you're meant to do is keep an eye on your experience.
Yeah, I should have. Oh well. That's my bad.
I don't remember Rubber Band Man if this is the 3rd or 4th crescendo.
Let's just
we don't even really have points either. Gosh. But the Moogle room is definitely necessary, because we definitely need those attack cards to start dealing with things. We definitely need the Thunders to farm more effectively. There's not a lot of improvisation out of not getting one of these, and it's very, very unlikely to not have found one by this point. Like, I can think of all the comm runs I've done in the last 2 or 3 years, and I haven't had this much trouble with the Moogle room specifically.
Hopefully I don't die in the encounter now, because I'm gonna try to kill it. Oh. Man, this whole getting into crit HP is not going well. I accidentally used my cure. At this point, I'm not even sure that this is worth it for speeding up Oogie, but you know, it is what it is. I'm losing from this.
Oogie does take a while. Just dry. Get on the other side of the large body.
Look out.
Come on, dude. Throw me a bone.
Okay, well, that was horrible. I just lost like a minute there for no reason, but... It's not even so much that we're doing 2 different routes, we're just getting different luck. But yeah, but it's...
Like,
yeah.
We're gonna find out exactly how we shake up when we get to Dark Side, but like, yeah. I'm gonna have to farm less later as a result of this, and my map card efficiency has been pretty good so far. Like, these have been fast fights for the most part.
Yeah. Like, you can probably, like, skip almost all the farming. Like, based on the run that I did the other day...
I doubt I'll need to do farming too appreciably at all.
Yeah, because when I did it yesterday, I ended up going to like the 115, and then I did like maybe like 3 teamings or something in farming 2, and then I ended up like already having way more than I needed from that. So yeah, taking that as a benchmark.
Level 24. That's unreal. Have I ever been level 24?
Yeah, I think I was 23 or 24 yesterday.
Yeah, move room's 7%, and I've probably hit over 60 map cards in the first world set. So, I am not going to use my calculator to figure that one out, but... Switch up the music. I think there's some issue with having Zvanzig's audio as the main runner for this game specifically.
Yeah.
So apologies. It's gonna have to be me for now.
Alright, so this is Oogie. We made a deck that just literally will just be used for this fight. I got lucky and got the trick card, which will just let me skip the whole second phase session, essentially.
I got the Moogle room.
Oh, nice. So with the Hades card, it just doubles your damage when you're in crit HP. So it's a huge difference. Obviously risky to do in fights that actually do something, unlike Oogie. Remember to switch my deck back. And I now didn't level up from this fight, so I'm still going to be in crit for this next fight, so hopefully I don't die.
Perfect Trick Master, he didn't walk across the screen. You can't counter that one if he walks across the screen.
Alright, so we didn't end up having to use the backup save. Good times.
So I 72 is good XP, because it means I'll level up after Oogie, and not before Oogie. Alright, we going. We are gonna catch up. We're gonna try our best to catch up. Friends.
Oh, he probably will. I'm still gonna have to do much more farming.
What would have made me really scared, like, where I would have actually started to lose appreciable time, is if I max out on map cards.
Yeah,
that's something you want to see.
I don't think that would happen with the time limit we set.
I've seen
maybe.
It's
you might have been pretty close.
I've been tilted enough in a comm run to grind out for the 1 blue until I maxed map cards. I would have wanted to be there. Hopefully I didn't hit the Berserk bug. There's 1 pixel of HP, or 1 HP basically, where the bar will flash red, but Berserk will not activate because somebody forgot to add a less than equal sign for one of those 2 equations.
It's happening. The thing I was scared of happening is happening. I don't have a 3.
Oof.
So I'm gonna have to fight some stuff here. Luckily 3s are very common, but...
You say bad luck, but when you're in a situation like this, generally, it's unfortunately just like not... you gotta manage it, right? Like, most of the time with most pools of map cards, it's very easy to avoid getting yourself stuck in a situation.
Yeah, I mean, this is my own fault. I have no one but myself to blame for this. I was really hoping I wouldn't do something silly like this, but it's unfortunately a very common occurrence for me.
I wouldn't feel too bad about it, because I know you've sort of been busy, and it's like, neither of us really did a lot of preparation for this race out of respect for the fact that we're both a little busy going into this and want to just have some fun, you know?
Okay, I got a 3. Only took me 3 fights.
Should be okay. Some of these encounters can be a little scary.
Hopefully I don't end up also, like, not having a something else, but... Where we go.
Those deck edits in. Yeah, most encounters are spooky there, but some are spookier than others. An 8? Oh, you almost never pulled an 8 there.
Wait, Oogie?
Yep.
You can use an
Oogie's
8.
cards are usually 7s. Yeah. So now's a good time that I've put Olympias in my deck to explain the Keyblade system in Com. Because you're not just using one Keyblade like in most normal games. You're using varying Keyblades as different cards that you decide to put in your deck. And obviously the better Keyblades are going to be more expensive card point wise than others and deal more damage. But what's really, really important is where in the combo the Keyblades are used to deal the most damage. Now, Kingdom Keys are bad everywhere, but the Olympias that I've put in this deck are very, very good at the end of combos. They're combo finish Keyblades. So when we go to the Moogle room in Agrabah, we're going to be on the lookout for 3 Wishes and Olympias, which are good in the beginning and end of a combo, and Lady Lux and Pumpkin Heads are good on the first 2 hits of the combo. And Wishing Stars are very average Keyblades that are just like slight upgrades of the Kingdom Key, and we'd like to avoid using those as much as possible. Later on, if we are blessed enough to find some Divine Roses, those are the best Keyblades that you can put at the front of your combo. And if you find Oath Keepers and Crab Claws, those are the best ones for the middle and end of the combo, respectively.
I'm at the point now where I'm gonna make my deck in a moment. Since I have 3 Moogle Room cards, I'm just going to use them all in sequence here to get a free pack from all of them. That just kind of decreases the risk of having to make a really bad deck, because I get terrible packs.
Yeah, so all that stuff I was talking about with combo order, definitely keep an eye on that as Vonzig over here is going to assemble his Berserk deck in preparation for Jafar and Larxene.
Gotta love a pack with 3 1s.
Oh yeah, 1587 experience. That is more than enough.
Yeah, I mean, you're so high level, like...
Oh yeah, the world order is definitely very, very important. I didn't talk about it very much, but the world order is super, super important for the speed run.
These packs are not good.
We want to make sure that we're getting Blizzard Raid and Fire Raid early in order to have good decks for the other bosses. We want to fight bosses that are difficult earlier in order to fight them when they have lower HP. And we'd like to also ideally yes, the right attack cards at the right time and farm for the 1 blue when we're supposed to. A 0. Okay. Good to get our 3rd 0. If you're stuck without enough zeros, some attacks can be dangerous later on, but kind of hard for us to get. Not necessarily my Moogle point situation. Wow, my Moogle point situation is dicey.
Yeah, mine would be better if I didn't have to make that extra room. I'm switching these up a bit because I went into this way too pessimistic.
It's actually really bad. I'm gonna have to sell some stuff. Those crescendo enemy cards are going to be points. These are also going to be points. I'm gonna be hitting these.
I'm currently editing my deck very slowly.
All of this matters, apparently. So okay.
I'm
gonna get all that done before I do this fight, because after I do this fight, I'm gonna be in critical health, and I don't want to hit HP orbs.
80.
So I got enough Moogle points to buy the cards that I need to for now, so it's gonna have to be good enough. So my grind's gonna be a little slower than usual because I actually have higher HP than usual. It's whatever.
Alright, so now I'm gonna fight Jafar, and we're gonna do lots of damage to him really quickly. Oh.
I think I'm deep enough in critical health that I'm definitely safe from Berserk Bug, but I don't have the buffer I'd like.
Oh my god. Please hit Iago. Okay, so that's him down, and if my math is correct, I should barely not level up here. Yeah, 75 left. And now we're gonna go straight from that into Larxene. And Jafar is like easy even in low HP. This is gonna be the scary fight.
Larxene doesn't deal a lot of damage, but she deals damage often. And
like not getting hit by Larxene is just not a thing that happens.
I'm gonna see if I can save the pack, because like that's how desperate we are for points. This is a pretty good haul, and I'm gonna test the waters. Could waste a bit of time if my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's workable. Workable enough that I'm doing it. Probably.
Okay. Didn't die. Pretty good fight. Now, let me see. So I currently only have 2 blizzards and 2 fires.
Is all greater than 10? Yes, they are. Alright, we're going for it. I'm going to save 100 Moogle points. And...
So I'm saving here because depending on what the packs give me, we might have to reset a couple of times here. I can buy 2 packs up front and then definitely have enough to sell for more. Oh, that first pack is already terrible. Yeah, okay, we're resetting. So this is like the last like really big RNG thing left in the run. Other than I guess like boss fights being really bad. Yeah, because I need at least 2 thunders.
Jump isn't always consistent, by the way. I'm glad I was able to get that.
And some good amount of fires and blizzards. Okay, that pack gave me all the thunders I needed. I'm gonna actually go back and save.
Solid Jafar fight.
But now I still need a lot more fires and blizzards.
Am I gonna wimp out before Larxene? I think I'm gonna wimp out before Larxene. Let's put the cure in. Just in case.
Let's see. How much money do we have?
Get used to that low health noise. We're gonna be berserking a lot of these fights.
I just got a lot of blizzards, but I still don't have any extra fires. Especially with not having a Nocturne yet. This is kind of a sketchy situation. I don't think I'm gonna get enough to buy a 4th pack. So I'm gonna save here, and I will take it if we get at least 2 fires and just pray for a Nocturne. Basically, because I don't want us to be stuck here for too long, and there's not that much else I can do right now. But we're definitely at least good on blizzards now, because I got a lot.
Alright, good luck team fight. Let's go.
That gave me 1 fire. I still enough to get another pack? Don't think I can. Sell that. No, it's not gonna happen.
I'm gonna have to do some selling and some other stuff in order to get the magic cards I want. That is good. I want to see that. A lot. Okay. Let's see how much we can sell.
Oh yeah, 220 is absolutely extremely optimistic. Okay, there's some point. Actually save that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I can buy 2 magic packs? That's not a lot.
Only 2.
Yeah, we're gonna stretch for a 3rd, but I'm not optimistic about it.
Another one now.
So we really want thunders and fires from these. I already have a 2nd fire and I have 3 blizzards. I want 9 total blizzard and fires. I'd prefer to have 4 fires, and I prefer to have 2 thunders from these. Okay, that's a pack I'm gonna save. 1 thunder, okay. 2 blizzards, and a fire.
I'm done with magic cards. I have a lot of blizzards now, but only 4 fires and no Nocturne yet. So this will hopefully be fine. I mean, worst case, we'll just have a really slow Vexen.
I want to see both a thunder and a fire from this pack. I probably could have tried to like sell and get like another pack out of it, but I think I'm like squeezed dry, and I don't think I can sell to get another one. That first pack was enough of a godsend that I think I can just get out of a thunder and a fire this way and be fine. That's 9 total. I have the Nocturne. Stretches to exactly what I need.
This is all like a really stressful part of the run.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright, Moogle packs are done. Cool.
Alright. So we're essentially at the same point, but he definitely has more map cards than I do. So I'm going to be farming here for a little bit now. Now that we have Thundaga, we can kill these encounters extremely quickly.
I am not going to be going there. I'm going to go to Hollow Bastion right away.
Yeah, moving on straight away, okay.
Because I have enough palm bounties to ensure that it's going to be okay.
So while I'm farming here, I'm praying for a Nocturne drop. Because without it, I don't have enough gas in the tank to kill Vexen without resorting to just trying to hit him in the back with Keyblades, which is really slow. But the alternative was sit there for like 10 more minutes resetting magic card packs till I had enough fires, and that would have just not been fun. And not worth it.
And give you the cage as well. Parasite Cage destroys your opponent's enemy cards, which is useful against some of the other bosses. Alright, let's go. So my attack card deck is really bad because I left that Moogle room early. So I'm going to fish for Divine Roses because I have lots and lots of calm bounties for my over-farming of Wonderland. It's one of the advantages that I get to have from that.
Yep. It's definitely a solid plan. I definitely have a pretty nice attack card deck this run. I mean, you know, I also got the extra two.
You got a lot. You got a lot of... Yeah, you got the extra 2 rooms, and you had many more Moogle points than I did.
Yeah.
So you have to burn through these 2 slates, but then after that, these chests are going to give us a really nice high chance of Divine Rose.
So I think with how many Blizzards I got, I'm not worried about Dragon Mail, but I'm worried about Vexen if we don't get a Nocturne.
There's one. Okay, what am I looking at here? I'm gonna take stock of my cards quickly. Cool.
Shadow card. Not what I wanted.
Brother Kingdom Key. There's okay. Alright, well we got the 1 Divine Rose, so you know, I can't really complain about that.
Yeah. Something.
So as long as you have 9 boosted raids of either type, then you can kill Dragon Mal for free. Either she'll won't attack and her head will just be there, or she will and you'll card break her and her head goes right back down.
You don't really need to stand in a particular spot. You just need to like be in the middle and not be so close that you're going like to like.
Yeah, there's no spot that works because it's always going to be a 3-hit raid because the back of her neck or like the front of her body, right, acts as a wall. So it limits the amount of distance that your raid's going to be able to cover no matter what. I'll have to do. So now we get into Riku. We fight Riku a lot in this game, but only the last time really matters. I should take the cure out of there, but it doesn't really matter. Do that next time. With Overdrive, which increases the power of our attack cards by 1.5 times, and this deck full of combos that we know deal a certain amount of damage, we have just enough gas to take down 2 bars of health. Ah, he reloaded right before my big combo with the Divine Rose. Rude boys. Am I gonna have to reload myself? No. Probably not. If I use this combo, I won't have to reload?
I don't think he uses slights in the first fight.
Nope, he does not.
Oh, I gotta another
He
rep.
gains the ability to do slights in the next couple of fights, and then he gains the ability to do Dark Aura after that in the 4th fight. But the real big difference is just that he has a 3rd health bar in the first place. Because it necessitates us using Berserk to get the damage that we need.
So
Maybe a mistake here to go for Atlantica, but I think I have the cards for it, so I'm gonna do it. I don't think I have the cards to push Neverland, though, so I won't. I said Trickmaster was about the last improvement to this game, but I'm wrong about that. Zvanzig found out that I was being silly about berserking Ursula, and that Overdrive works just as well instead, so thanks again for that, Zvanzig. No, I'm GBA. I play this game on a GameCube Game Boy player. Whew, it's starting to get hot in my room because I've turned off my central air so as not to flood my microphone with some white noise. That is just the price of quality. Initiatives are down here. Yeah, GameCube Game Boy player may be like the best $30 I've ever spent in my life. Highly, highly recommend it. I think going this direction, it's not advisable to use Stagnant Space, but it is the only zero. It's the only card I have left in that stack. We could be faced with a long room here, or it could be not so bad. But it ended up being a little bad. That's fine. It wasn't that bad.
Alright, I'm back.
Some 9 in here as well. I am waffling too hard on what cards to use for the store. The mark of an experienced comm runner is like being able to map out all your map cards basically as soon as you can look at them. I'll take that. Definitely give me that trick card.
Any more ones? One there. Don't use that one.
I'll just wait for her to come back.
Alright, time to make my new raids deck.
Yeah, so Ursula's annoying because a lot of her attacks do a lot of damage and like confuse you or whatever, but mostly because her tentacles get in the way of her face. So I've come up with this strat both in Berserk and Overdrive of like you kill one tentacle and then you hit the face and you kill the other tentacle while you're hitting the face using the range of your attack cards. I did actually take the cure out, right? Yeah. Shouldn't have had to check that. Should have had it. Please skip the cutscene instead of pausing.
Oh wait, I have all of these.
After this, I'm gonna go back and do some card farming like Svanzig was doing earlier.
Oh, okay.
It's not safe to play this into the 17 here. It is safe to play it now, though, because Incrementer means he can't have zeros. Yeah, so he's using an ability that makes his cards go up in value by 1, which is normally like a really cool thing you can be doing in this game, except for the fact that you don't get 0 cards. And I haven't talked about 0 cards, but 0 cards, basically, if you don't know, they break any card and get broken by any card. So they're card break machines, basically, and every comm deck worth its salt has to have a couple of zeros in it, or you're going to be in for a bad time against enemy slights. Alright, let's go get some map cards.
I'm actually looking a little bit thinner on map cards than I was hoping, so I might still have to farm a good bit at the end. Wait. Almost ran into the door without equipping the correct deck. Should also switch out the cure.
Yeah, you just gotta wait for everything to spawn and then use Thunder. So now it's time for, I guess, Swansea to talk about the more interesting things that are happening on his side of the battlefield.
I mean, it's just the same stuff that you've just already done, but yeah.
You gonna head up through Neverland, at least?
I think
so. Or are
so.
you gonna go back?
No, I should have enough to do that comfortably, I think. I hope.
So that'll be different, at least.
Ah, dang it. Come on, Riku. Don't stun lock me.
Yeah, Riku's got that little bag of thing in his bag of tricks, doesn't he? The stun locks. I'm pretty sure I have other twos. Important to use a teaming here. It wouldn't be the end of the world to get a second Rhapsody here for Axel. Because you go through 2 reloads of the deck against Axel. And it's actually, the third Rhapsody is even more useful, because that makes you enemy card proof. His enemy card quick recovery makes it so that he does not take 4 hit raids, he only takes 2 hit raids, no matter what distance you are from him.
Yeah,
so,
that's real annoying.
If you have a third Rhapsody, you can use Parasite Cage and then refresh your own Rhapsody at no cost to you, basically.
You know what? I'm just gonna make as many calm bounties as possible in Atlantica, because the Atlantica enemies always seem to fly into me, so...
Yeah, the Xenions are very annoying. Gonna do this. Oh, wait. This isn't last run where I have 2 copies of Thundaga. I actually have to wait. Autopilot kind of screwed me there a bit. Not terribly, but a bit.
All of those. A lot of Sleeping Darknesses. I should use those on the plot doors as much as possible, I guess.
Got a teaming back. Keep getting this encounter, which is a shame because it's very slow compared to the other ones because it has 3 spawns, even when you're thundogging everything. And the shadows can hide under the ground. That's it. If I were more serious about this right now, I'd be counting the enemies I was killing and then leaving when I hit 8, but I am having enough of a time reading chat, counting the map cards in my head, and just thinking about what's going on later. Like, handling experience drops and the fight. Sleeping Darkness is useful for the smaller rooms to get quickly, but unlike in Recom, where the spawns in Sleeping Darkness are fixed, in regular Com, it is very common for the spawns in Sleeping Darkness rooms to spawn in your face. And that can waste a lot of time with the encounter.
There we go, that's Ursula down. Back here, experience. That arena is very big. If the experience gets away from you, it's like... Okay, I should still be fine heading up through the next worlds.
Run calm this early in the morning usually as well. The glare from the rising sun is hitting my face pretty hard.
Yeah, I used to have that at my old place. I ran at the wrong time. Which in that room was like late afternoon, it would always shine into my eyes.
Gotta wear sunglasses indoors. Yeah, that would make me a cool guy, wouldn't it? I like the way you think. Yeah, that's a good emote right there. That sunglasses cat emote. I don't think I need more than one more of these, but this is all gonna be interest I pay into farming 3 anyway, because you gotta get to the 99 door. Really happy we're not using the backup saves this run. It always feels scuffed when you have to do that.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I actually have not ever touched a backup save for a marathon run of Chain of Memories. Not
I don't think I have either.
Not in like the 5 or 6 times that I've done it.
Oh, I've got a lot of zeros there.
Yeah, you can hit doors you've already opened. It's a good way to get around the fact that you need to keep increasing the value of the doors. If you just go from the first room again, if you're card farming.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you can go back in worlds and card farm is also kind of a big pace killer in this game, right? If you're playing casually, you generally just want to farm in the places you're at instead of like going back to Traverse Town and grinding, because it's just more fun to do that. But you don't really have that luxury in the speedrun. I do remember some of the old forum posts on SDA about this game, where like people were like trying to keep it under their hat that they'd figured out that you could just like farm all your cards in one place and like get an edge that way. It was kind of adorable. Like but they were, you know, like those runners. Another enemy card. Those runners back in the day did also discover stuff about the raids I never would have otherwise. Like, the Quiet Man and Aqua Tiger, those were the first Riku and Sora runners I remember reading about, respectively.
Oh, man.
Another shadow enemy card.
Getting the real lore here. Like, I don't even recognize
This is what you get with me. You get old man stories from Old Man Ghost Wheel.
Oh, screw it. Yeah, I'm definitely running pretty low on map cards at the moment. There.
I think after this, I'll push through to Neverland and Twilight Town. If I don't have a teaming now, then I don't have one, you know? I guess it's fine.
And I forgot to put the flyers at the front of my raids deck, so I need to flip those around real quick.
Would I call them ghost stories? No, believe it or not, I've generally never called... I've never thought to call them that. I've generally just called it me rambling. Because I do that. I ramble a lot.
I put the deck. I was paranoid.
Yeah, it would have been... It sure would have been ideal for us to run it in, like, release order, but that's almost never going to happen given the fact that runners are coming from all over the world to participate in this relay.
I know with the Final Fantasy relays they used to do that, and then they stopped doing it, and it was suddenly so much easier to do scheduling. Oh. Yeah, that one. Oh boy.
So one thing I didn't mention yet is, so we're doing the worlds in an order, which makes a lot of sense, obviously, based on boss HP, all that. We're using 100 Acre Wood on the 10th floor here, because 100 Acre Wood is erasing a bigger map when we do this. Whoa, dude. I can't believe I have so many 3s.
Man, I should have just done what I did in my run yesterday, which is forget to switch to this deck. Because I'm much better at doing it with attack cards. The hook jumps around a lot. Kind of a mess of a fight sometimes.
You're on hook? Ooh.
Oh, I was on hook. Yes.
This is a closer race
Well, I need to go farm.
than I was expecting from the outset.
I think you're underestimating like how many map cards you've got on me at the moment.
We shall see.
We shall.
Probably if it wasn't the worst room to actually populate a room with. It's really fine.
Alright, so this is 100 Acre Wood. You can do things here, or you can do what we do and not do things here.
It's totally up to... Why didn't I use the 3 there? I think I just didn't see that I had multiple 3s. I definitely would have given my density of 3s elsewhere in the deck. It's not very good for my branching for me not to use that 3. I will definitely do that in Twilight Town now. There's the door.
Alright, here's Vexen. Kind of an annoying fight because he likes to not do things.
And like, if you just like throw a raid, right? Like, he can move out of the way and only take 2 hits from it. And when we're running as thin as we are, if you like miss a raid's worth of damage on Vexen, that's a quarter of his health that you have to hack away at with like regular attack cards. That's just not a good time.
Yeah, so you'll see me playing very carefully, only throw the raids when I know I'm gonna hit, so basically only when I'm breaking his card.
We used to do a part of the Poo minigame, to... what's it called? To get the elixir. Rue has the elixir, and it's not very deep into the level, but it was very infuriating to get it.
Yeah, let's do Twilight Town as well, and then I'll go and farm.
This strong initiative room wasted a bit more time than I had anticipated. Not much more, but...
We're not 100% sure who's leading, but I'm fairly sure Ghost is leading. I mean, I'm leading in terms of, like, game progress, but... terms
That was a
of
clean hook fight.
route progress, I'd definitely say
If you can use the rocking of Hook's ship to your advantage, and the fact that Hook is weak against fire, you're generally going to have a good time against him. The reason I put Parasite Cage in this deck is for Vexen 2, who has auto life, but also for Hook, who can use all zeros and make that fight really, really annoying if you don't have Parasite Cage to deal with it. I think I'm gonna put Overdrive in the deck, just in case Vexen's mean.
Actually, so I'll do this. No, I don't. I can't. Never mind.
There have not been many high-profile comm races in comm history. In fact, I can't really think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure I've raced like Draz or something a long time ago, but this is quite historic, and I'm glad the race is as close as it has been, or as seemingly close as it has been.
So for Vexen 2, he's actually much easier than Vexen 1 because for beating him the first time, you get a Mega Ether, and that just gives us an entire second.
Yeah, it gives you an entire extra reload of fire raids. Like, even if you don't have another Nocturne, that's just enough to cover for any mistakes you have, right? I almost YOLO'd it to get the 5-hitter. I know where to stand to get it, but use it, use it, use it, use it. Not here. Use it, use it, use it. Use it. Gotta card break him to hit the raids for sure. I wanted him to keep that, because that's too big. I'm gonna take the risk that he's not gonna stock something and break me right here.
Nah, it wasn't sketchy, it was just not ideal because I was kind of just YOLOing the raids at the end because I had so many.
Not YOLOing.
But I was never in danger of running out.
I will, however, YOLO that. Okay. Reasonable fight. Could have been very, very fast, but I'm honestly not going to complain about a Vexen that goes like that in a race.
Yeah, get back here. Sloppy Riku 3 because he ended up dodging some of my combos. But, you know, Riku...
You know, if you didn't mention Riku 3 right then, I might have actually forgotten about Riku 3. That could have been bad.
I shouldn't have said anything.
The strats don't change until Riku 4 when he has more HP. That's your limiter. Like, your strat against him is to deal a specific amount of damage, which your deck is capable of doing. Again, which is, you know, 2 bars against someone with his resistances, right? Riku is resistant to fire, ice, and lightning, so raids don't really work against him. Also, he's, like, able to jump away from them pretty easily as well. It's a pain.
1, 2, 3... Oh, wait. 3, 5, 9, 5, 7, 8.
But yeah, it's definitely beat the crap out of him with the caveat that you want to be sure that you're card breaking him all the time.
So I'm sitting on 9 and 87 at the moment. I have all the other required cards at least, so that's something. Not having to sweat for a 2.
Whatever. This is what the Mega Ether's for.
So, like, I can't keep track of these numbers and talk at the same time, so do you want to explain what I'm doing at the moment?
What are you doing at the moment?
last farming?
Oh, yeah. So the last farming is basically you want to have enough lower cards to go through the regular rooms leading up to the final boss doors in Destiny Islands and Castle Oblivion, while also having enough value in cards to open the some to 50 and some to 99 doors in those worlds as well. And I'm going to be doing that count as well pretty soon, once I'm finished with Riku 3 here.
So this is where we'll find out who's actually ahead. I mean, it's Ghost, but... What's that?
Once he uses that, it's not going to break me with a 0. You need about 20 low cards and a total value of 150 high cards in order to proceed. Okay, so...
Yeah, and I'm still a little ways away from that.
I don't have an 8. I also don't have an 8. Okay. That's a little scary as well. We need to be on the lookout for an 8 in particular to open the Destiny Island store.
Hmm.
Well, that's the thing, is we actually need, we save our 0 cards for this portion of the game. It's pretty easy to branch without them, and these are the ones which have, like, long passages where you need to reset a lot. And the 0s also help you, in the end game, save a lot of your value when you're doing branching paths. Might get stuck on this 8.
Yeah, that's definitely scary.
The 8's a 1 in 20 as well. So, you know, it's definitely... It doesn't have to be a specific color. It just has to be an 8. However... This is why I put these other attack cards in, just in case, like, shadows are hiding or something.
I'm currently on 15,125, if my count is correct. So you know where I'm at?
Yeah, I'm in a pretty similar place. I have more low cards than you, but my high card count is almost precisely 125.
Now, since this is a marathon, I'm probably going to play this a little bit on the safe side, just in case my counting is a little bit off. Because you don't want to get stuck in Castle.
Dude, I'm in Tranquil Darkness. Don't give me an enemy card.
I think I now actually have enough high cards. I've just gotten a lot of high drops. Now.
Zvanzig with the luck. Killing me.
Oh, it's fine. I just got the shadow.
If this 8's the end of me, I deserve it. I used 1/8 in the 30 door on Ursula, and I thought I had another. Stop giving me his shadows. This is the 3rd shadow in this farming run.
Oh my god.
I'm farming Tranquil Darkness so this doesn't happen. Another Rhapsody as well. Stop, dude. Stop!
I'm probably gonna farm the rest of this room, or maybe a little less. We'll see. I still need a few low cards. There's one. I hope I have enough zeros to make it work. I'm not 100% sure of that, actually, so I might farm a little bit extra just to give me the... Oh, there's a 0. That helps.
I don't like this. I don't like this a lot.
I think I now have enough low ones, but I used this 6 to make this room, so I think I want one more high one. Okay, that's probably enough, but I'll farm out the rest of this room to give myself a little bit of leeway.
Alright, I got another Rhapsody, too. I have 3 Rhapsodies out of these Tranquil Darkness rooms, but I haven't been getting high cards and I haven't gotten my 8 yet. So, I'm definitely behind at this stage. That's unfortunate. I thought I could have pulled off the comeback.
I mean, it's not over yet. Endgame bosses could always make things happen. So, since I said that I am, like, scared of not having enough zeros, I've gotten 4 zeros.
There's my 8.
Alright, we're going.
I don't think I think it's paranoid to say that I need more. I might also be going. Come what may, let's do this.
You got the 8?
I got the 8.
Okay. Oh boy. Do I still have a usable calm bounty?
If only we could, Bert. I did enjoy fighting OC at RPG Low Break. Not the enemy! Hit the door! You fool.
Thanks for the encouragement, guys. And this is actually like really close now. I love this. Where's my 8? There's my 8. I thought this was gonna be like the run that completely like kills the relay by one team just losing like 15 minutes.
People don't have faith in Calm. They don't believe. I believe. This game is hype.
Yeah, okay, I need to remember to leave a red 3 as well. All these things have like burned me before. I'm not letting it happen today. No, I ran into an encounter. Yeah, we're done with farming, so at this point it's basically all execution now. Yeah. Alright,
Not
I'm
gonna
at
repeat
dark
that single
side now.
value.
So in this fight, he has way too much HP.
And he has a predictable attack pattern.
Yeah.
So here we're going to use the combination Overdrive and Berserk. We're also going to take advantage of a slight called Judgment, which we picked up earlier. What? Oh, I broke his card. That's tragic.
Oh, did you break the one you need to get damage on?
Yeah.
Oops.
I'll get in some hits here on the fist. Could be worse.
Need you to hit me a bit here. Because I need Berserk. Oh, we are in Berserk. That should be enough damage. The 2 judgments will finish him off now. No, I didn't. Dang. That's unfortunate. He just has a little bit HP left. Alright, there we go. Alright, and then coming up now we have all the hard fights, essentially.
Alright, that was close.
We're like less than a minute apart.
That was a garbage dark side fight. Like,
Mine could have been better.
I definitely got hit by a shadow and knocked out of my rhythm.
Oof.
That definitely happened.
Okay, so now we edit the deck a little bit. Take out these. Mega potion.
I am so hoping I have enough for the 99 door because I'm not counting again. I'm really scared.
Nope. I immediately messed up my first combo in this fight. So Riku 4 is hard because he's got 3 health bars. I'm taking quite a bit of damage early here, but I'm gonna get into Berserk eventually anyway, so... yeah, I guess we'll just go into Berserk now. So now I effectively can't allow him to hit me with anything strong anymore. Okay, good Riku. Good Riku fight. And then the next one's Larkscene, which for my money is the hardest fight in the run. Gonna add the Riku card, which will give me one go through all my cards without them disappearing. Which just gives you a little bit extra gas in your tank. Power Release is unboosted, but it just helps. We do a regular reload. Now we're going into overdrive. Fight is very good so far. She's barely hit me. But she can rack up the damage real quick, especially later on in the fight. Stop. Now, overdrives run out, but I have enough gas in my deck to take her out without having to use Berserk. So if I don't have to, which it doesn't look like I'm gonna, then I won't use it. Because using Berserk against Larkscene is just incredibly scary. We did it in the first fight because she didn't do that much damage then, but it's so scary to do against her here. But sometimes you just have to. So that was a pretty good...
No, dude. Got her! I use Berserk.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're so close. What the heck? Okay. Both no deaths to Gauntlet. Nice.
Let's go. Sorry for not commenting as much. I care at this point. I'm here for blood.
Oh god. Where's the door? Where's the door? I'm using teamings because I have them and I need to. I don't want to use teamings. Damn it. I'm gonna get into a lot of encounters here because I've got like a bunch of 0 sleeping darknesses. I'm gonna have to use them.
How many zeros do I have?
Oh my god. Why are you in front of the door? No, keep that. Absolutely keep that red 3. For the love of God, keep the red 3. Yes, this is going to be a 20-hour stream.
Yo, thanks for the luck raise. Or the well wishes. it's gonna be up here. Benton, yeah. Let's go, procedural generation.
He's reading it, dude. Swansea not losing. I mean, keep in mind, he started like 3 minutes after me, so... Alright, time to edit my deck for Axel. No.
Moment of truth. Do I have enough? Because I definitely didn't count it.
Do I have enough? Oops.
Yes, I had enough.
Oh, I barely have enough. Like, I had to use a 2 at the end. That's how close it was.
I think this is far. Yeah. Going for it. That's not what I want. Enough. That was some quick math in my head. I am going to hold out. These have to be 4 hits. This should... No! Whoa, dude, he teleported into it! Alright. Bailed out by Axel.
Alright, you're like a few seconds ahead, I just killed him. Alrighty. 2 more fights. Man, I did not think it was going to be that close for me on the 99 door.
I knew it was going to be close for me. I was very, very aware of how close it was going to be.
Like, I knew it was going to be close, but not having to use a 2 close.
I think it's here. Yeah, it's here. Read the room, Ghost. Read that room.
Alright, and Marluxia is... He's got a lot of health, but he takes a lot of damage from physicals.
Yeah, Marluxia's resistant to slights. You actually want your slights to get broken while you have Slight Lock active, which saves your cards, because Slight Lock actually does not decrement if your Slight is broken in this game, which is really weird.
Oh, that was a tie.
This one pass. Just let him run himself out of double slight.
Man, he's dodging a lot of my moves instead of, like, attacking me so I can break the card. This is not a good fight.
Mexican standoff. Alright. Marley dead.
Yeah, I'm having a really poor fight. And he might kill me.
Here's hoping I don't die in Marley too. That'd lose me a lot of time. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we start out breaking his size with these raids, and then after that we're going to transition to physical attacks. You can only damage Marluxia either by getting on his back or card breaking him and then getting a combo in, and we're going to opt for the latter option. Marluxia, like Darkseid, has a fixed sequence of attacks, so he's really very predictable and very easy. We're just going to be going into Berserk for some of the fight. And the easiest thing to kill you in this fight is the lag. Like, it'll eat your inputs, like it's trying to draw a lot when the flowers are active.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to get on his back here because it's really slow. Then we're going to activate Overdrive and start comboing him.
I only just realized earlier today that like the mech he's riding has a face on it.
I don't like the friend cards that I've gotten.
Yeah, having a lot of them is really annoying in this fight. They're just getting your way when you're trying to
I
get
can
to
get killed here.
Hopefully the
Next
friend...
run.
Yo, GG. I'm about to finish myself. I'm on the last damage phase.
Oh, that was super fun. Thanks, guys, for all of the, Thanks for the relay. This was definitely a good time. Best of luck to... I believe it's Dessa next time.
And done. Go, 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 D-Wins! Wow, that's actually not a bad time either.
Yep. So I'm going to be sticking around here, actually, to help with posting and commentary for Recom, so...
GG's, by the way.
Both deathless, that's pretty good.
Those are some solid comm runs.
That was really nice. Alright. I'm gonna hop out and cool off, and good luck to all the future runners. Have a nice day, everybody.
Okay. So now we see the other side of Chain of Memories, what happens while Sora's running through the castle, the Riku story, Riku's side. We're playing this on Recom now, as opposed to Chain of Memories. There are quite a few differences between Recom and, well, the normal Chain of Memories. One of the most notable ones, which will change the run a lot, is the existence of Joker cards. That Joker means, if we're lucky, we don't need to grind nearly as much as the other two did, or as you would on the GBA version. Because with Jokers, we can save a lot of map cards. We want at least one Joker to get through a 50 door in Twilight Town. There are also a few other doors that we want to go through. But in general, we want to see like 1 or 2 Jokers.
I'm gonna get up for a second to get water.
Optimal would be around 4. Anything above that is just a nice addition. Oh, wait. Oh, nice. Okay, I did kill him. Okay, I'm grinding a little bit longer in here because I'm hoping to get a strong initiative or something else to be able to grind in. But as of right now, it doesn't look like I'm going to get something, so I'm going to use the Feeble Darkness instead. It's a high card, but it should be fine. I didn't hit him again. Now we're in Feeble Darkness, which means the enemies have a lot lower values in here. But I'm not sure about which waves spawn in here. However, I don't really have anything else to grind in, so we hope to get a Tranquil Darkness or a Teeming Darkness, something like that. Another Feeble Darkness, that's not the best, but it's okay. There we go. Looming Darkness is already better, but I think the value is too low. Actually, want to hit that shadow. Whatever.
Alright, so while I was up, did you already go over the main differences in Riku's campaign versus Sora?
Oh no, you can go and do that.
Alright, so Riku distinguishes himself from Sora by having a fixed deck in every world that he's in. And his decks don't have as many different types of cards. They're basically just attack cards. And enemy cards that you get when you beat the boss. That's the only permanent addition you get to have to your deck. So some of the decks in some of the worlds can be really, really silly. The other thing is there's fewer plot doors. You only have to do one of them, and because there's a lot less story in Riku's mode, he's basically just fighting against the darkness in his own memory. So, yeah. As a result of him not having a lot of different types of map cards, he can also only use slights while he's in dark mode, and dark mode is a thing that you get after this world by, like, you'll get access to it, and then once you've broken a lot of cards or taken enough damage, you'll build up dark points, and then go into dark mode with the next card that you use. You'll start doing a lot more damage with your Soul Eater cards, and when you combine your Soul Eaters, they'll do slight special attacks at different values. You'll have Dark Firaga, Dark Break, and Dark Aura, as you saw when we were fighting against Riku. In Recom specifically, there is also a duel system that gets added around this time, where if you match someone's card, if you tie it, you can win a duel and do very consistent damage, but it's not very fast to duel, right, Jessa? So you try to
usually it's not that fast, and in a few fights, as I've learned during the practice as well, it's actually very bad to use the duel system. For example, if you use it on Ursula, Riku will just try to dash towards her and never get off the attack. He'll try it eventually, but
definitely
he'll
a
just
boss
whip
that you don't want to
all
be
of it.
trying to do that on.
Exactly. There are a few fights where it's okay in, for example, the Zexing, because that fight's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's tricky, yeah. And another fight it's pretty useful in is Captain Hook. Because Captain Hook can be a little bit annoying, and duel just gives you consistent damage output. So Hook is another place where it's fine if you get out a duel, not a limit.
But yeah, most of your card farming is going to be in Traverse, right? Or are you staying here?
No, like, most of it is going to happen in Traverse Town. However, I barely got any useful cards, which is why I'm a little bit longer in Hollow Bastion.
Yeah, you definitely have to start out on Hollow Bastion because it's good enough, and you have to have a bit of a base. But even though Traverse's deck isn't very good, the enemies are very weak. It's true in GBA Riku as well, but you do most of your farming there.
Yep. And again, you also have to check on what cards. If you usually want to start off with something like a strong initiative, which makes it so that you immediately start with heavily weakened enemies. However, you don't always get to see that. In this case, for example, I only got Feeble Darkness and Black Room, which are both not very good to grind in, but I didn't have anything else. So I had to basically just take it and...
Yeah.
Because
you can't improve your deck, strong initiative is one of the only ways that you can speed up your grind in this game, in this version of the game. Against boss fights as well, this game distinguishes itself from GBA by Riku being able to pull off more consistent stun locks. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of that once we get closer.
Yep, that is true. So with Riku, unlike with Sora in the recon side, Riku's fight actually look a little bit different as well. With Sora, you would usually just spam Fire and Blizzard and not much else. But with Riku, we do have some strats, even if not as many. Just because it is still a little bit broken, even if not as much. Oops. You can still see that recon is quite a bit easier in some places. Something we do, for example, what you can do pretty reliably in recon is we stack 3 cards, then we do 2 hits in the air and finish our combo with the slide, which allows us to basically have a 5-hit combo just to get more mileage out of our cards. Okay. Now, Dewins left Hollow Bastion a lot earlier than I did. However, I've already gotten a few more map cards, and I don't know, do you have something like Strong Initiative or Teeming Darkness already? Or what kind of cards did you get?
Wins is muted, so...
Oh, he might
be
be
just wants to focus.
Okay, fair enough. Like, Wins generally, from what I know, leaves Hollow Bastion a lot earlier than most other people do. But again, depending on what map cards you have, you might have to adjust and try to figure out, is it worth to really leave already, or maybe stick around for a little bit longer. Now we have to find Ansem, who is actually this, but in disguise. And the first thing we have to do is we have to Rapid Break him, which is something that Riku gets introduced to. Rapid Break means we break the enemy card within a few, and not too long from when they play it. Yeah, shortly after they play it. And
that's not a thing in the GBA, by the way, the Rapid Break. That's an addition in this game.
Exactly, like, Rapid Break is only a thing in Recon. And that gives us extra damage. We have a slight AoE when we launch our combo, or hit, or whatever. And Rapid Break is what we're going to abuse in Traverse Town. You already see Dewins using that a lot. He doesn't hit the enemies like you usually do with Sora on both Com and Recon. But he leaves them alone, just runs into them, so that they have the chance to play a card. That way we can abuse that Rapid Break mechanic to just... usually annihilate that wave. Why
I didn't know that. That's really cool. I didn't even know you got an AoE from the Rapid Break.
It's a small AoE, but you do notice it sometimes that your attack suddenly hits a little bit more. I think it's a very small AoE, just like a little bit of a burst that you get out of it. It just feels like an AoE.
No, but I'm noticing now. It's cool.
Yeah. And yeah. Yep. Also, what we have is JP versus English. That's because JP is a slight amount faster than English, but not a lot. There are not a lot of text boxes with Riku's story. But in Sora's story, you would notice that difference because I think Sora saves like 20 seconds or so on JP. Just because of the text boxes.
Yeah, GBA Final Ansem is no fun in a speedrun. Recon Final Ansem is still like hard, but you are able to stun lock him a lot more easily.
Exactly, and he generally is a lot easier in Recon. You don't have a lot of HP, just like in normal com, but it's easier to stun lock him. You can just 1-2 him constantly. And Dark Aura, I think, is a little bit more effective. He's also... I would say he's a little more...
Dark Aura has more hits against him in Recon, in my experience. I can concur with
however, my strat doesn't really revolve around Dark Aura just because it is a little bit inconsistent. He can break out of it or send his Guardian out to block it. So what I usually do is I just stack 2 cards and use the mechanic, or use the L1, R1 buttons where you just launch the 2 cards you have stacked instead of all 3 of them. Just to get a 1-2 out of him. I tried to do that on Zexion as well, but because Zexion is a much faster paced fight, as you will see later, it's not as easy.
Dark Aura in Calm is situational because you can't always even play it. You need 3 9s to do it. But yeah, it's not a great option against Final Anthem. It is a lifesaver against Riku 6, though.
The Lexius fight, as well as the first Riku fight, actually revolve around using Dark Aura. Because you'll see the exact things, but those strats just rely on us having consistent access to Dark Aura. So you see, these enemies don't really play cards right now, which is a little bit unlucky for me, because that means I just have to punch them. I just have to straight up punch them all the time, and can't really rapid break them to deal extra damage. What we're doing now is...
The rapid mention also gives you extra dark points, which is always good.
Exactly, so the dark points are, as we talked about, there's a dark mode that we both have access now to, since we beat the tutorial Ansem. Dark mode, ooh, I think that's the first Joker. Nice. Jokers I'll explain in a second as well, but dark mode is a mechanic that Riku has access to in both GBA and Recom, which transforms him. Again, he's able to use slides there, and you need to get dark points by either getting hit outside of dark mode, that gives you 1 dark point each hit, or you break enemy cards, that puts you into dark mode as well eventually. You get as many dark points as the difference between your card and the enemy's card. With a rapid break, you also get a few bonus points, up to 9 bonus points. So I did get a random Joker already. I mentioned that we want a few random Jokers because there are a few high value doors. With Sora it's even more important, but with Sora on Recom you can manipulate them. With Riku we cannot manipulate a single card, which means we just have to brute force our way to getting hopefully 2 Jokers, if not more.
Yeah, random Jokers let you ignore a story door requirement, right? And so
They
this isn't
ignore
used
all
as
kinds
much.
of door requirements.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter where you
yeah.
use them.
Well,
But
I mean,
we use them for story doors, yeah.
but what happens if you use a random Joker on just like a regular room, right? What's the room that gets made?
The room you get, as you might guess, will just be random. Random Joker is good for every single door, and if you're unlucky, you can get a random Joker during Hollow Bastion, realize you don't have cards to advance, and then have to use your random Joker in Hollow Bastion already. That can happen, it has happened to me before as well, and I'm pretty sure Wince wasn't that scenario, so though Wince would probably reset at that point. And yeah, those random Jokers are just truly a lifesaver. They save so much trouble. If we get just 2 Jokers, with 0 Jokers, we want to grind like 85 cards, if not more. If we do get only 2 random Jokers, which I think there's like a 4% chance on beginner, it changes depending on what difficulty you're on, by the way. But if you get 2 random Jokers, we already don't have to grind up until 80, 85, but 71 can already be enough. So they save a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're less useful for just like finding a specific map card requirement as they are for just being a substitute for a large number of cards, right? And the Sora door, like, we had to use at least 11 map cards to get the 99 door, and there are a couple of doors like that in Recom. One thing I want to point out in Recom that's different from Com is that these rooms in the map cards, they're not procedurally generated in this one. If you notice, the runners know exactly where they need to go to find enemies, and they know exactly where they need to go to find object triggers.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be changing every time. And when they're going through and routing out where they need to go using their map cards, they're making sure it's like, okay, I know which of these rooms are going to be good for going right to left or straight across, or are they going to be small? Like, that's very, very important. In a consistent category like this, like Recon Riku, every little advantage you can get out of your map card routing counts.
So, quick little side note, some of you might have seen that I was stuck on that fence. I never jumped. The game auto-jumped me out of that. I have no idea what just happened there. I just got stuck in that fence, and Riku automatically jumped because I think the game noticed that I was stuck. I have no idea what just happened there. It was weird. But yeah, we'll be here for not too long. We don't grind super long. I think with Sora, the grind takes around an hour. With Riku, it's, if it goes well, like slightly below half an hour. Something that also can happen a lot during the grind is the shadows just trolling you. And so if Riku auto-targets a shadow that goes underground, you'll likely not hit anything at all. As you might have just noticed, or just seen. Comments 30 minutes. And
notice also how the experience just comes to you when you finish these fights and you don't have to scoop it up. It's so blessed.
Persona. Okay.
You don't have to go for a second farm either, right? You're just like done?
No.
You're done with Traverse?
Both in Sora's and Riku's story, due to having random jokers, we also save ourselves a second grind. I think Riku doesn't do a second grind either.
Yeah, I didn't think it did.
Side doesn't do it on Riku because we have jokers, and nowadays we can manipulate them as well. If you go for a second grind, it likely means that you messed up a door requirement somewhere, like the blue one or the red 3.
So once we get out of the card grind here, it's going to be boss fights for days.
Yep. Recon runs are usually comfy grinding sessions. Then you realize you're on a bad pace and you just boss rush everything. It's not like, as Ghost said earlier, a lot of the skill in Recon revolves around being able to consistently grind well, which is the same you need for Calm. You just need to know what waves there are and how to take advantage of them, your positioning and all that. And in Recon, it's also very important to know what map cards you want to use where, because, again, the rooms are not procedurally generated. Every single room and every single word has a distinct layout, and you can figure out where to go quickly. For example, I know that if I want to go from the right side to the bottom side, or I guess if you look at the map, it's bottom right and bottom left. Almighty Darkness is very useful because those rooms are both very close, or those exits are very close to each other. However, if I want to go for any other exits on Almighty Darkness, I'll likely lose a lot of time because you have to climb a lot in those rooms. That's the kind of knowledge that makes the difference in Recon runs, really. Or that can make a big difference, just knowing which rooms are advantageous and which ones are not good.
There's also the factor that in Sora grinding, right, you have a lot of control over what types of rooms you're using, and there are a lot more different types of rooms that are legal for Sora to use. So you can pilfer your own map card deck, and like you can manipulate it to be what you want it to be. In Recon, in Riku, you don't have that luxury. If you have lasting dazes that are gummying the works, then you're stuck with them, and you have to figure out where you.
Oh, another Joker, nice.
You get them on boss doors, or you get them in rooms where you don't have to climb up all the way to get to the top of the lasting days.
Lasting days is probably the worst room for every single scenario. There, like if you take all the scenarios and combine them, lasting days is likely the worst. But there are very few moments where it's okay. I think if you go from left to right, and if you go from left or top to bottom or right, then it's fine because that usually means you go down on the map, or you just lower yourself. But if you go to the top or left exit, it usually means that you have to. It usually means that you have to climb up, and it takes a while to climb in lasting days. Kind
of weird that it works that way, because this game is not exactly isometric like COM was. So, like, it's a bit of a weird artifact of the transition. If there's a parody to the room.
Oops. At the moment, I haven't really paid attention if Wynn's got any jokers. I know that I have 2 now, which at this point I'm basically. Like, the worst part about Riku's grind is just hoping to get jokes, because for Sora you can always manipulate them. Even in a relay... Oops, I would have been a duel. I'm not going to do that. In a relay situation, you could just go and manip them if you want to, or if you go for PB, you just reset if you don't get them. With Riku, you always have to just grind them and hope that they drop. So having 2 jokers is already good enough. I know how many map cards I go for now. If I get more jokers, even better, but I'm set for that. So I can grind a little bit with ease now. Okay. There are also a few waves, as you might have seen, that both Wins and I run away from. For example, if there are only 2 shadows, it means that if we defeat those, as long as we're not in strong initiative, there are going to be 6 shadows that spawn afterwards. But I might be able to show it now. If we go to strong initiative and engage on that encounter, the only enemies in that room or in that fight are going to be those 2 shadows. So we just hit them both and the fight's over.
I didn't realize strong initiative could basically thin the spawns like that. I've never noticed that.
I think it's just because strong initiative in itself has that small spawn. I think the spawn in itself, they differ from room to room.
Oh, yes, yeah. All the spawns differ from room to room naturally. It's just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I assume that in strong initiative, you just have... Because, yeah, I don't think it thins out the spawns, because there are 2 wave spawns. For example, if you have two Nocturnes and 2 Rhapsodies, you will get 4 Shadows and a Soldier afterwards, once you defeat 3 of the 4 enemies. So I don't think it thins out the spawns. It just exactly. It's just naturally 2 shadows.
I wasn't thinking, because it's definitely true that like the types of enemy encounters you can get vary in rooms in the GBA as well. This is important, especially important for like 100%. If you ever want to run either comm or recom 100%, you have to kill enemies last a lot. You have to kill lots of different enemies last. So you spend a lot of time investigating different rooms to see which ones have like favorable encounters that spawn wyverns last naturally, for instance.
I would say that only applies for a comm, because Recom actually has a manipulation for every single enemy card, and Riku doesn't need to get enemy cards. Recom can manipulate every single enemy card with a specific deck that usually consists of Warp and a few other cards. And that way, all the cards except for Neo Shadows are actually very easy to manipulate.
You did still need to find a specific map card that worked for those manipulations, though, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right, you need Sleeping Darkness, usually.
Okay.
But that way you'll just adjust your route a little bit to use less Sleeping Darknesses. And you'll also likely get like at least a Nocturne, maybe a Shadow, to not have to, so you don't have to grind as much. But it is true you have to get a few Sleeping Darknesses for that to work. Yeah, that again was the 2 Shadow spawn. I do not really care for that one, because it just takes too long. The 2 Shadows are easy to beat, but the 6 Shadows just take too long. Okay.
Watching the card farming here is both very relaxing and very tense at the same time. It's just like, when are they going to be done? When are they going to be done? They're both going very hard.
I mean, on my end, again, I don't know how Wins is doing right now, but for me personally, it's relaxing at this point, because I do have jokers at this right now, so I know that the grind will not take forever. The grind will go for a little longer, yes, but it will not be an absurd amount of time. I don't have to grind for hours on end. And at this point, extra jokers are bonuses. I gladly take them, but if I don't get them, it's not the end of the world.
It's like D-Win's kick guard armor here.
Yeah, I'll likely fight him soon as well. He just already went to that place, which is why he's fighting now. But it doesn't really matter when you fight them, as again, you do still have to grind your map cards out. I'm just gonna assume right here that D-Win isn't done with grinding 24 minutes in.
The only factor that's gonna make guard armor faster at this point, besides location, is your attack bonus, and that only comes every 5 levels.
I think it's actually every 3 levels. Or is it?
It may seem like 3 levels because of the first level, but I'm pretty sure it's 5 even in Recom. It's definitely 5 in Recom.
I'm not sure.
But, yeah, like...
Well, level 2...
Since
level
Riku doesn't...
Yeah, level 2, level 5, level 8, level 11, level 14.
Okay.
I think it's over 3 levels.
But yeah, those the point being, those attack level ups are come in very discrete places. So as long as you have the maximum one you're going to need, fighting
like
guard
it's
armor
like a
should
sword.
take more or less time. But yeah, since Riku doesn't need card points to make his deck bigger, he just he gets dark points and he gets attack points every now and then. And
HP, of course.
yeah, of course, he still gets HP like Sora does. But the dark points are basically, so we've talked about dark mode. We haven't talked about getting out of dark mode though. Once you're in dark mode, you lose 5 dark points for taking damage, and you lose points for card breaks based on the differential as well. So if your dark points are low, it can actually be pretty easy to dip out of it if the fight's going poorly, especially when the enemies have scary decks like Zexion or Riku.
Oh yeah, Zexion has a very scary deck.
Like, and like Riku's deck isn't all that scary, but your deck is not very good in that fight, so you could very easily drop out on it.
You mean on Riku 2 right now? Or...
Yeah, I'm talking about the Riku 6 fight, yeah, where in Twilight Town,
yeah.
where your is good.
So the thing about that fight is that
You
outside
do
of
the Dark
the...
Warfare?
Yeah, we don't actually go for Dark Or we actually stun lock him the entire time.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And that kinda makes that fight a joke.
Yeah, the GBA strats for that fight are to use your Dark Side enemy card to copy Riku's Slight Lock enemy card, so you can use Dark Aura 5 times on him. But that's rough because you only got 3 9s in your deck, so you have to reload it every time, and they're all like way spread out, so you gotta fish really hard to get that Dark Aura. But it's the only way to really consistently do that fight on lower resources as you are want to have in a speed run.
Yep. A lot of the fights are just a lot easier, but there are a few strats that kind of base on RNG. For example, Lexius later on. Depending on what strat you go for, it's RNG if you can get through that fight very easily or not.
The fact that you can combo the aerial attack Ivan in this game is great.
Yep. Oh, that was not intentional. Please. Okay. Please. No, I can't break that. No! Okay, I misclicked. So that was a duel that I didn't mean to use because duels are bad for me. Okay, so what I'm hoping for right now is to get the gimmick card. For some reason I've been getting very unlucky in terms of gimmick cards. I've just not been getting them at all.
This one, guard armor gimmick cards come randomly from card breaks. So that's just, you're fishing for it, basically.
Yep. I have to hope that he doesn't kill me now. Oh god.
In the last run I called them trick cards. It's just a bad habit of mine. They're actually called gimmick cards.
Wait.
I'm
I'm already out of cards, nice. I didn't realize. That is bad. Oh, there we go. Now that I'm out of cards, I finally have a gimmick card. So the bad thing is, if you use oh my god, if you use too many slides, you run out of cards. And I got blocked a lot, which means I just had to use a lot of slides and have to hope that he doesn't. No, look at me now. Please. No, 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 please. I have to dodge. Okay, maybe not. That was a little scary, but it's fine.
You're telling me.
Okay, so...
come on, I brought you that 30-second lead, Dessa. You gotta hold it.
Don't worry, there's still DDD. Oh god. Okay, no, it's all good. We won. All good. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Now I'm gonna check how many map cards I have after this. Just to see how much longer I have to grind. 52, okay. I need around 20 more to be able to advance. So maybe I'll start counting now. I maybe also need HP. Maybe. And no game over, no problem. Pretty much. There. Thank you. That's fine. Just in case. Just
Yeah,
think.
so that should highlight like how quickly these fights are expected to go, right? Because if you were expecting your deck to run out, you'd almost certainly prioritize stocking the lower cards in your deck first when you're doing that. But that was very much a great bailout of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to survive in a situation like that with that deck, I certainly wasn't expecting it. I thought you were straight dead.
Same. Same here. But it's all good. Got through it. Got some
That's the other
jokes.
cool thing about like common recom in general are unique in that aspect where it's like a real-time card battler where you can dodge based on your deck and also just on how good you are at dodging actual attacks. I can't think of many other games that really have this kind of combat system. Battle Network is like the closest thing I can think of, where you're moving on a grid and also
Battle
have
Network?
a limited deck building. Yeah, like Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh, Mega Man. Ah. I never played that game, so I'm not even sure how that works. I just know it's kind of a card battle-ish game.
Yeah, I mean, so like in Com you have a bigger deck and like you have to use it to attack, but in Battle Network you have like some special programs that just compromise like the majority of your damage. But like you're moving on a grid and you're like firing the Mega Buster and stuff, and you can always do that. It's the closest thing I found to something like this. But yeah, it's the card battle system has kind of been controversial over the years. I've met many KH fans who've told me they just didn't want to go through this. And you know, when you look at how involved it is, you can't blame them sometimes.
There's lots of grinding going on here. And
Well,
it
if
can
you're playing
also...
casually, you don't need to grind, really. It doesn't feel like grinding if you do it in different places.
Yep, that is true. That is true. So, something I actually noticed recently, because I was actually able to witness someone playing it for the first time not too long ago, is that some of the places, or some of the areas, actually don't really balance well around your deck. Not just fights like Trickmaster with Riku, but even on Sora, for example. Yeah, for example, Card Soldiers in Sora's story, they have 8s in the likely second world you're ever going to enter, so you have to figure out how do I want to use cures effectively so I don't get broken and stuff like that. You have to basically understand the game very well, very early to be good at it.
Card Soldiers, Parasite Cage is another one who can just shove 8s in your face all the time. Hades is using slights, you know. Oogie's got 7s you have to break, and you can with the initial deck, but you have to break
7s and not 8s as well.
Yeah. So, but like, I don't mind that, because by that point you got plenty of cards, you got Moogle shops, like, it's the second world set, you should have some value. But here, in Riku's story, some of the bad decks are really bad, like Wonderland. Atlantica. I even dislike Neverland. That deck
Neverland
is not good. It's just like a mess to navigate your deck.
The problem with Wonderland's deck, though, is that while Trickmaster has 8s and 7s, your highest card is a 5. You can work around it, you can still kill him very easily, in the speedrun at least, but it's... if you don't know how to fight him quickly, you are likely in for a bad time with the deck you have. Very likely.
Neverland sticks out to me because the boss is harder. Like, especially in GBA Com, like, Hook is not exactly an easy fight.
Yep.
Well, Trickmaster and, like, I guess Ursula's pretty bad as well. Ursula's a pretty bad combination deck and boss.
Ursula's horrible. She's been my nemesis when when practicing this, I realized that gimmick cards, either they're not as common as I thought they are, or I'm just super unlucky because I've not been getting gimmick cards for neither Ursula nor Oogie, which led into
it's gotta be like a quarter chance
bad situations.
What I'm reading, like off of like a tentacle or a dice. That's all I can think of.
Okay,
one thing I didn't mention in the GBA Com run is there was actually an old strategy before Berserk Jafar, or with Berserk Jafar but not Berserk Lark Boom, where we would shoot a Blizzaga at Jafar's chest because that actually guarantees you the gimmick card for that
Oh.
fight. It raises all the platforms. And I'm actually pretty sure that it works the same way in Recon if you shoot Blizzaga at Jafar's chest.
Well, now I wish Riku would have Blizzard.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. Jafar is another fight that's just not fun with Riku. It can go very badly.
Looks like D-Wins has moved on to Agrabah. Is there any...
That is true, but I'm not far away at this point. I'm actually surprised that I was able to keep up this much, because I need like 3 more fights and then I'm gonna leave as well.
So, what's the rationale of the World Order from here on out? Just basically bosses that are harder to damage don't get more HP?
So, exactly, yeah. I'm not sure if you explained it during comp, so I'll just explain it again, especially for those who are new right now. The only thing that really scales between floors, because you can't choose the World Order yourself, the only thing that really scales is the enemy's HP. Which means if you put off worlds for later, they will be the bosses and they will be stronger. For the Order, after Traverse Town, after Grind, we'll go to Agrabah next. Just so Genie Jafar, as the fight is not fun, will not have too much HP. And the last 2 worlds are Neverland and Monstro, which we're gonna do in that order, because Hook is another really weird fight. Let me double check. Okay, 7-3, that's super good. Hook is another really weird fight that can go very badly because of... you said that the rocking of the ship actually helps you in Calm because the raids can deal more hits, which I saw. You got like a 6-hit rate or something. Yeah. But in Recon, Riku is actually what hinders the fight from being okay, because due to the rocking, we cannot consistently stun lock him. And Riku usually takes his time to get out his 2 hits, which also means that the stun lock gives him enough time to break out of your combo and just play a card of that out. Play a card of his own.
So, there's one fun fact that I want to throw out there, now that we brought up Hook again. Apparently, somebody told me that if you hack the fights and bring Captain Hook somewhere else, like in Castle Oblivion, the rocking of the ship is not Neverland-based, it's part of Hook's fight, so he'll rock whatever room he's in GTA.
Oh, imagine him rocking around in Genie Jafar's room. That thought is just super funny, just Genie Jafar's room or any of the other normal rooms just rocking around like crazy. That is amazing. What are weird rooms? Parasite Cage's room. Imagine that one rocking around, just the acid going back and forth.
I'm not sure how that would work. Would Parasite Cage import the acid into his rooms as well? I gotta ask the guy who told me about Hook.
No, I don't think it would. I think the acid is just tied to the ground. Oh, wait. Are you saying that maybe the acid is tied to Parasite Cage?
It could be, you know, maybe.
Oh, that would look weird.
Like, what if he just makes whatever floor he's on damage you and have rocks? I don't know for sure.
Maybe. Okay, 5 for higher green and okay. Good. Now we caught up. We're on G4 now as well. Looking at you. Yeah, it does. Now, I think D-Wins had an okay fight, so let's see what we get. Maybe we get a good fight. We can get a good fight if we get the gimmick card, but, well, getting the gimmick card is a thing, you know? I wish. Oh my god, please. Oh god.
Yeah, so Vexen in Recon distinguishes himself from the GBA by, like, losing his shield when you card breaking him and always turning to face you. So instead of actually having to physically get behind him, you've got to be on top of your deck, right? You got to be on top of your, like, which cards you're using against him and at what time.
Okay, so we got through Junior Fall. It was an okay fight. It could have definitely went worse if the platforms would have fallen down, but something I had, I think on my last practice run, he just lowered all the platforms. And, like, I don't remember him doing that all too well. Doing that at all, I mean, but it's not a fun time. If Riku cannot reach Yago if all the platforms are down. So you just have to wait there or break them until you get a gimmick card, which is not a fun time. I'm happy that didn't happen just now. Okay, so
You can't even do it with dark mode. Dark mode gives you higher jumps, so I'm kind of.
It does, but you still can't reach him.
Mm.
It's super weird. So, talking about specific map cards you want to use in Worlds, Martial Waking is something I like to use in Agrabah because it's a very quick to traverse room like that. I also try to use Sleeping Darknesses in crossings where I know that I go through again because the room layout and the floor layouts are consistent. I try to use the Sleeping Darknesses in crossings where I know that I go through just so I know that it's gonna be a short way. Sleeping Darkness always has a small room. Okay, I'm just gonna use Dark Aura. I couldn't find a 0 quick enough, so I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, there we go. A little bit slow, but that was like my first idea to go with. And now you see the stunner. We just want to them all the time. In this case, I could have just done the finisher, but it's fine.
The other thing I didn't mention about Recon map traversing is that Riku actually has to go back to the Conqueror's Respite Room or the exit to the world, whereas in Sora you just get ejected. It's a nice, neat little story thing because it's like it makes Riku feel like he's trudging through, like, you know, that he's not really getting any help or that he's just fighting his own demons. But in practice, it's really a bit of a slog during a speedrun to have to go back.
Wait, I think demons went to Monstro first. Interesting.
I think it's because Hook is more, like, if Hook goes well, then it is faster to kill him with more health because he's more accessible, but...
I guess, yeah. But in general, I usually like to go with Neverland first just because Hook is a weird fight. I'd rather not mess around too much with him. No, I have... Gonna use that last Martial Waking.
Yeah, the Recon boss battle themes as well as the calm ones are great, Raph. And I also like the Ruler of the Sky theme in Days because it's a mashup of the calm boss battle themes. I always thought that was really, really cool, and I like the way those sort of came together.
I agree with that. Let's use this here because this should be another crossing. Yeah, Hook's right there. Any blue card? Do I have Mingling Worlds? So, something that you didn't see with Sora's story, I think, on Com was a card called Mingling Worlds. Mingling Worlds, basically, it's a random joker with a value. So it still applies, it still bows to the same rules that you have to play it properly on proper doors, but it gives you a random room afterwards.
Yeah, we didn't see it on Sora because you generally have to go to like Twilight Town to farm to pick that up in Sora's story. But
that, and I think it just doesn't unlock that early.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If you're very early into the playthrough, you don't even have access to it.
Yeah, Twilight Town's like the 11th world, so you're just not getting it.
Yeah.
But we used to find it back when we were farming all the way out to Twilight Town to make sure we were getting 1 blues, because at that point you are getting more blue cards than average.
Okay, that was close, but it worked. Second, we are 2 out of 3 bosses in, 2 out of 3 Disney bosses dead. We're a little bit too close for comfort.
This thing that Dusta's doing here, and that D1s was also doing, I'm sure, where you stock 2 cards and then use them prematurely, that's not as easy to do in regular time.
In Recom, it's a little bit iffy as well, because in Recom you need to press L1, R1, and you need to press them pretty much frame perfectly. So if you're slightly off the... Oh, that's a long room. Slightly off, you will not get the cards out, and you'll just shuffle through your deck a little bit. It can get very... It can put you into a very bad situation. As you see, I'm very low on health because it didn't work all the time. And on top of that, if you do that too often, on slides, the first card you use always gets ejected out of your deck. Which means if you use the 2 card slides all the time, you'll have your deck thinned out by 50% at the end of your first set, basically. That can put you in a very awful spot if you do it too much, which is why Zexion can be such a difficult fight.
The 2 card slates in regular com, you have to try and stock the reload card to use 2 cards in the slate. But it looks like you have a shortcut command here to do that.
Yeah, if you stock 2 cards, you can just press L1, R1, and that will automatically use the 2 slides.
Triangle is your stock card.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Okay, so now we're in Monstro. We're less than a world apart at least, so that's not too bad.
Running regular comp because of the L1, R1s can be hard in your hands. You gotta basically spam that button combination, and you have to be tight with it as well.
Monstro, Meeting Ground, or Slipping Down. I'm gonna go with Meeting Ground first. I have all those written down with the cards that are favorable for which world. So I do have to quickly look up every now and then. Oh my god, please get up there.
Yeah, you definitely do, Ivan. You get the hang of it fast, but it never stops being bad on my hands when I use the original GBA controller, and it basically makes it impossible to play with a GameCube controller. That's a mess.
So one thing about only having 2 jokers is that I think I don't have many blue cards. And the problem with that is that not having a lot of blue cards means the blue 20 that I have to fill out on Halloweentown, I might have to use the joker there instead of the red 30 in Wonderland. This is, by the way, a room you haven't seen in Com because it didn't even exist back then. This is a room that got introduced in Recom. I think it's bottomless darkness. It's only shadows, everything is black, it's all even. It usually is pretty good to go for. If you have to go from one corner to another, it's fine. Oh, Demons doesn't know the strat. Hoo hoo hoo. That's an advantage. Oops. Oh my god. He keeps wrecking me. I cannot go dark mode. Okay, thank you. Now I have to hope that he eventually stuns. Because there we go. He can get stunned at some point, and then you can just spam attack.
Yeah, so maybe this nuance wasn't clear the first time I explained it, but when you have enough dark points to go into dark mode, your next card puts you into dark mode, which means your next card is not actually an attack that gets used, and it also actually has to resolve in order to put you into dark mode. And against some bosses who have really, really good decks, this can be harder than it looks. And you might want to stock a few cards just to ensure that you go into dark mode if you're really adamant about it.
Exactly. Like, just now, it maybe would have been a good idea if we would have done that. As you saw, Parasite Cage just kept blocking my transformations and wasted quite a bit of time.
Parasite Cage is definitely a heartless boss that consistently can pack a lot of value. I'm always wary of fighting him up close.
Let's go with Black Room here. Black Rooms are a little bit risky, but there are specific worlds where Black Rooms are super good. I think Monsters one, yeah. Especially if you go from right to top, it's super quick. But there are also a few worlds where it's just consistently good. For example, Halloweentown is something I love to use Black Rooms on. Another world would be, I think, Monster as well, yeah.
But worlds right after the midpoint of this game. I forget which floor that starts the second world set exactly, but D-Wins is a floor ahead of Dessa here.
Yeah, it's the bottom 7 that starts it. Okay, I'm gonna use this. There's a strat here that I think D-Wins didn't follow quite as much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go dark mode, then we're gonna shoot Dark Farragut to put him at a wall, but I guess not. Wait a second, let me put him at a wall. There. Now we're gonna stun lock him until he's at about this health. If he doesn't stun lock me, and I messed it up as well. Okay, never mind. Shouldn't be talking. But it's fine, we got it. Whatever, we're just gonna stun him. So the plan was to push him towards the wall with Dark Faraga, and then stun lock him until he's at slightly below 2 health bars, because then you can put yourself next to him at the wall, and then use Dark Aura. Dark Aura gets you out of one wall and into another, and if you and the enemy are at a wall, you will basically emerge and dive into the wall right next to the enemy, dealing damage with every single time you leave and enter the wall. It deals ridiculous amounts of damage and it'll put him from 2 bars to 0. But in this case, I got put out of dark mode because I didn't double stock my 2 cards and he broke me. So that way I had to resolve to...
Are most of your level ups going to dark points? I haven't been tracking very much. Like, how much HP do you need in a run like this?
Again?
Oh, are most of your levels going to dark points? I haven't been tracking, but how much HP do you need in a run like this?
So personally, I definitely stopped putting levels into dark points once I beat Lexius, because after Lexius it doesn't really matter anymore. Zexion is constant dark mode, and for Ansem I don't really need too much dark mode. Like somewhere around the mid-20s is good. 28 to 30 is usually where you want to stop leveling dark points and afterwards go to HP, because Zexion and Ansem are a little bit better if you do have some...
Yeah, that sounds like a good compromise. That's pretty close to the GBA compromise as well.
I usually end with like 26 to 28.
Like, you want to have enough DP so that you don't get reverted after one card break, and then you take some damage or like a couple of mistakes.
Exactly.
But you don't want to cut it too close on your HP either.
Okay, now I'm gonna use a lot of black rooms. Because black rooms again are very, very good in Halloweentown. Just the way you have to move here makes it very easy to traverse like this. And I also happen to have a lot of black rooms, which means I might be able to use 1 or 2 later on as well. But now, next fight's gonna be... Oh, wait a second.
Is the reliance on the gimmick card why you put Oogie first in this world set?
The reason we... the reliance on the gimmick card is why I put Oogie first, because Oogie, again, bosses will have more and more HP, and without the gimmick card, this fight is horrible. If we get the gimmick card, it's fine, but without the gimmick card, it's horrible, which is why we try to get it out of there, but you don't really get it a lot of times. In my practice, I think I had... Oh yeah, let's go. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna reload real quick.
Yeah, when I run Riku, I tend to be a little more conservative on the HP than that, Ivan, but I think there's a little bit of wiggle room. It's definitely better to go for DP if you can.
There we go. With a gimmick card, you can just do this. He'll stay stunned, and you have enough time to just beat him up.
Yeah, gimmick card stuns Oogie longer than regularly bringing it on the gate, right? This is unclear in GBA com, but it is actually true for that as well. I've clocked it that you get like a half a second or a full second more of stun time.
Okay. So... Now I need to be a little bit careful with my red cards. I only have 1 more Joker left and I want to use it in Twilight Town. But there's 1 more big door that I have in front of me, which is going to be Wonderland, after Atlantica, where Demons is at right now. In Wonderland, there's a door that requires a 30 in reds. So I'm going to use Feeble Darkness, because it has a spring as well, just like Blackroom has, so we can just jump over to the top door. The spring is right here. And then we continue using Black Rooms. And I'm gonna try and leave a few high value red cards, just so I can traverse through Wonderland without having to grind. Oops. Or having to extra grind. No, there's gonna be 1 more, do I believe? No, okay, that's it. Okay, we caught up a little bit because Oogie was a very good fight. Oogie went very well. So, another thing... Do you get high jump in comm with Sora? You do, right?
No, you don't get high jump or glide. Those are just not things you get in this overworld movement.
Because in Recom, you do actually get high jump and glide. Eventually super glide if you go to Room of Reward, a Room to Rewards with Sora. But Riku doesn't get those either. In general, Riku's jump is already kind of on the level of Sora's high jump. So you don't have to worry about that too much. Glide, of course, he doesn't have it.
He's just more athletic. He's just got the hops, even in base form. And
dude, he didn't skip Lick Day. He did not.
I think they give you the, don't they give you the card in Halloweentown that makes him jump even higher? So it gets really silly.
Oh yeah, you get Float. So that way, Float is an enemy card from the White Knight, and that one allows you to defy gravity basically. You have moon jumps.
Like, I've gone dark mode while having Float, and you just, like, go into the moon in GBA Com. It's really cool.
Okay, Atlantica. So Atlantica is a world where I like using both Strong Initiative and Bottomless Darkness. Because Bottomless, we have to go across a lot of rooms here, and Bottomless Darkness just makes it very easy to cut corners.
Take a look at D-Win's Ursula over here.
Oh, it's not good. You didn't get a gimmick card, which makes it bad.
Oh, which means you have to have a 2-cycle then. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, if you don't get the gimmick card, 2-cycle is not consistent either, and that makes it super scary. Ursula can go so wrong if that happens. Okay, where's my strong initiative? Zeros anywhere. Oh. Yeah, let's do Red Room. Red Room is fine. I had to think about this a little bit too long. I was ready on using that strong initiative, but it wasn't there. That's another thing. You can't really say, I want to use this, I want to use that. You do have to make sure that those cards are actually available for you. For example, I have lots of Lasting Days. I should use those.
It's very difficult to do this on the fly.
Exactly.
Especially if you get your whole batch of map cards at the beginning, like these guys have done here. Like, Sora has a lot of very, very difficult map card routing, but we get it in batches, and we can, like I said, manipulate the deck to give us more of what we want as we're going through. Oh, and that's skill too. Nice. But resolving your entire batch of map cards from the start, that takes guts.
So I got the gimmick card, which means I'm gonna try and fight her until she goes away, and after that I'm gonna use the map card just so that she kind of stays close. This way, 2-cycle is ensured for me. There, I'm gonna use this now. She's gonna choke on water, which looks pretty funny. And then we're just gonna finish her off. We can get in like 3 combos, but that was good. That was a good fight. We got the gimmick card, and we got a very clean 2-cycle.
You can't get a sure 1-cycle with the gimmick card, so you just ensure a good 2-cycle, is what you're saying. Makes sense.
Yep.
One thing I'm kind of sad doesn't get considered in these Recom runs, or Riku runs, is Berserk. Because, unlike in regular Com, you actually do not heal after level ups automatically in Recom. You have to take HP heal after. No, if you take HP, you heal. If you take something else, you do not heal.
Oh, that's what you mean. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So like, you can stay in low health from boss to boss, and just berserk all of the bosses if you were ready to be daring enough. But that's generally not a thing that saves time in these runs, or is considered safe to do. I think I remember like 7 or so years ago I'd consider trying to route something like that, but I failed at like Benjamin Riku and stuff.
So I just gambled a little bit because I was hoping that the black room here has a spring, but it actually doesn't. It's not too bad because you don't have to climb too much, but it's okay.
You do also get Berserk a lot later in Riku, but still. You do get Berserk a lot later in Riku, given that...
Yeah, exactly. You get it on the B4, which afterwards is only Destiny Islands, Twilight Town, and Olympus Coliseum.
You could move Hades up with still.
Yeah. Berserk used to be routed in, but I think damaging down just takes too long in the beginner. Maybe on different difficulties, on other difficulties, like standard Proudway take more damage, it might be more reasonable, because you also deal less damage and enemies have more health. It's really weirdly balanced. So, again, I watched the first playthrough recently of Chain of Memories, and I realized that Lexius, for example, I think on standard he has like 3 or 4 extra bars of HP, which is a lot.
Yeah,
I think he was doing...
those other categories give you fewer jokers, right? That's the real danger in doing something like that. Which makes me sad, because I like seeing the hard mode runs in games when I can. But...
Wait a second. Yeah. I'm actually not sure if that Teeming Darkness was smart. I was a little bit confused for a second. I think that Teeming Darkness might not be...
The rooms in Wonderland are barred by the flower gate thing.
Yeah, and Teeming Darkness is one of them. So this was not optimal, but it's okay.
D-Wins takes down Hades here.
Which I think he actually hasn't gone to Wonderland yet, has he?
I don't think so. I don't think I missed him randomly going to Wonderland. Is the map layout the same as in Com? I believe it is. I believe the map layout by floor is the same.
I think so. I know the door requirements are the same.
Except for the 20 blue, right? Or is that different?
That might be the case, actually, yeah. Okay, so I used an Almighty Darkness here because I've... Actually, I think that's in a next stream now I think of it. I'm gonna use Looming Darkness here. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful at this point again because I still have that red 30 door ahead of me. So I'm just trying to not use too many high cards. Just so I have that.
If you're using the Joker for something, you've gotta manage to keep your high cards. This floor here, B4, this map I remember being particularly gnarly with how many rooms you have to go through to get. Yeah, I think in GBA Com it's like, what is it, like a 4 and under blue or a 7 under? I think it's like a specific blue card instead of a
yeah. The only card that you really are not allowed to ever use is the blue 0. That's the equivalent of the blue 1 and red.
But you get it at the start, and you're not forced to use it in a tutorial in Riku, so you get to use it for the...
you get a blue 1 with Riku.
Yeah.
Not a blue 0. You need the blue 0 for Riku.
Oh, that's also a difference from GBA Com then, because I don't think it requires specifically a 0. I think it requires 2 and under. I don't remember, Ivan. It's been too long since I've played Riku. I only play Riku when I'm silly enough to do 100% these days.
Oh yeah, D-Wins had to use Martial Waking now, which means he has to defeat one of those flowers. Okay, now the last world for me, which D-Wins already did, because he's still only 1 floor ahead of me, is going to be OC. Which means our next boss is going to be Hades, and the B4 floor is actually quite gigantic. We have like 11 rooms to traverse through. It's quite huge.
I don't remember, Ivan, is what I was saying.
I can count. I have a map of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 8 rooms that we have to traverse through, actually, not 11. But it's the highest amount compared to any other world. By far.
So, you fought Trickmaster, D-Win's about to fight Trickmaster. Your deck sucks in Wonderland. How do you make sure that you can beat him quickly? What's the
thing about Trickmasters, he cannot play anything above an 8. So you want to just... The first slide, I myself just gambled that because the first slide is going to be an 8 from Riku. So I just gamble that he doesn't play anything big because I think we start with a 1 in the deck, so that one gets thrown out of the deck. And afterwards, you try to break his card, preferably with a rapid break. If it's not a rapid break, then it's whatever. But you try to break him. And also combo his head. Because if you get 3 hits on the head of Trickmaster, as he has 2 hitboxes, the head and the body, he will be stunned and just fall to the floor, which allows you to get 2 combos in. Or maybe 6 or 7 hits if you also do the extended combo thingy. Let me go with Roulette Room. So you want to hit his head so that he gets stunned, and then you can get 6 to 8 hits in until he gets back up again. Then you want to repeat that for a few more things. That's a few more times. That's why I personally rather go for a Wonderland first, because that means he will have less health. Trickmaster will have less health and the fight will not drag on as long, because the deck stays the same size. You just need to deal more damage if you do it the way that Demons does it. And Hades by himself is not a truly difficult fight. Meaning that you can just go for it. You can see he has 4 and something bars of HP. And he wins his hand. Okay, I gotta move up 1. Gonna use this. Now I'm gonna try and use an Almighty Darkness here if I can. If not, then it's whatever. I can. Because Almighty Darkness, this is the only room where I really want to try and use Almighty Darkness. Because it allows me to just go like this. Makes it very easy.
It's great. But yeah, it looks like D-Win still had enough gas in the tank to take down Trickmaster. He did have to jump on the table a couple of times, but it's a good fight nonetheless. Let's see how the Hades fight goes here now that it's been pushed off.
Okay, now I used the 0. I can use a low card. I'm gonna use a Teeming Darkness here. I'm actually confused for... Yeah, I didn't count for a second and I had to check where I am. Looming Darkness is okay. Later on in the run, you know which rooms are fine and you know which ones are optimal, but because your cards obviously thin out, you need to end up gauging out which one is okay, which one can I use, which one will not put me in a bad situation. Like, for example, you don't want to use something like Teeming Darkness, Strong Initiative, Martial Waking, Wonderland. So you try avoiding them. If you cannot avoid them, you have to use them though, which is the problem. I have a lot of practice. For example, what do you think?
Oh, you gotta think proactively sometimes too. If you know you don't want to use a Martial Waking Wonderland, you think, is there an earlier world where I can use this so I don't have
exactly.
to? Right?
Same thing with, for example, Lasting Days. You know that Lasting Days is bad, so you want to use it anywhere but in normal rooms. You want to try and fill out room requirements with it. But Lasting Days is such a small card. You don't really think you have many of them. And then you end up in Atlantica and see like, oh, wait, I have like 8. So I see you were actually going for a different strat on Lexius as well, compared to what I do.
And since you're using Jokers for a lot of the big card stink rooms, like you have to live with a lot more map cards just on the field than you do in GBA comp. Like if you have bad rooms, like you can sink them into the 50 door, right? That'll suck up a lot of garbage. But here you don't have that luxury.
Exactly. You have to just sometimes take what you get. You cannot say like, okay, I'm gonna use this because it might be like, oh, you have to fill out that red 30 door. And if you use that 9 Sleeping Darkness, which is a tiny room to quickly traverse through, you won't be able to fill out the red 30. So you have to eat that Lasting Days or whatever.
Lexius just got shredded there on D1's screen. Lexius is specifically weak to darkness.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're using stuff like Dark Aura, it's definitely gonna pack a punch in both versions of the game. It's what makes him a bit of a pushover boss, but he's cool nonetheless.
I'm gonna go for a different strat. So Demons used a lot of stun locking. I'm going for a little bit of a riskier strat, but it should still be fine. Worst case scenario, I lose a minute, but it should work. And it's faster. So the blue cards make him transform, but we don't want him to transform too early. We want him to transform once he goes Super Saiyan. Once he goes... once we are in dark mode. And we also don't want him to use slides. Now I'm waiting for a blue card. And now I'm going to use 2 dark auras and watch the damage.
I didn't even notice that he transforms in this fight. That's how much of a pushover he is.
He broke me right away. Wait a second. Please don't. No. There. Please don't break me again. Okay, got it. Whee! Yep. So what we abuse is if he transforms once, he is sturdy. He's just gonna be sturdy. He will not flinch to anything. He even resists the potential stun that Dark Aura can do, which means all the explosions from Dark Aura will just gather around him and annihilate him. If he transforms again, then you are in trouble because that means he will be invincible. Which is bad if he turns invincible.
Yep, that definitely sounds bad. One thing we haven't mentioned yet is that the Castle Oblivion deck is like really good in comparison to a lot of Riku's regular decks. There aren't any cards below a 6. There are lots and lots of attacks, so you don't have to reload, and there are 6/9 you can use on Dark Doors.
Yep.
So. And there are plenty of zeros all at the end as well, so you're not strapped.
The zeros, there are actually 2 zeros right in the middle of the deck, which is the only thing I don't like. They're straight up in the middle. There are 3 9s at the end, and before those 9s you have, I think, 974, 974, 974. Those combos. No, I think there are 6 9s. Okay, Duans and I are not as far apart anymore. I was able to catch up a
I
little
was
bit.
pretty sure there were 6 9s even in GBA, Ivan, but I could be wrong. My memory of Riku is not perfect.
Okay. Gonna use some strong initiatives. They're not super good, but they're okay here. Meeting rooms are fine. Stagnant spaces are okay as well.
So the gimmick card on Dark Side here is a lot better in Recom, especially in Riku, because it gives you these nice stable platforms to sit on, as opposed to that dinky raft in the GBA version, if you manage to get it.
Oh, he didn't get it. That's actually bad. Not getting... The thing is, if you get the gimmick card, it's super good, but if you don't get it, then you are in for a bad time again.
There's definitely not 6 9s at the end. There's 3 9s at the end and 3 9s in the middle of the deck, Ivan, but...
I hope I have a few zeros left. I think I should have like 1 or 2 zeros, which is okay for the rest of the run, I believe. If I play well. Oh wait, this way.
Yeah, if you stand in the right spot as D-Wins just did, he can ride the platform up without having to jump on it and get even more time from the gimmick card. It's really good stuff.
This is also like the one fight where you don't want to go dark mode, really. You can go dark mode, and if you do the free hit combo, you will always ledge grab on the platform, actually, before falling down. But you usually are this close. Oh, wait, you don't see me. You're very, very close to...
Mercifully got less HP in Riku's story, and in Recom in general as well. Yes, that's right. Ivan, that's correct. There's a 9-0 hypo.
Ah, please. Please, no, don't go on the ground.
Which is really, really cool. I love this.
I think I got the gimmick card. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I love this addition to the game, the Zexion fight. Zexion takes your cards, generally has a lot of high value, and yeah, and when he takes your cards, he has a lot of very highly damaging attacks that he can throw your way.
So I got the gimmick card a lot earlier.
D-Wins declines the duel here, continuing to go for the stun lock. The Destiny Islands deck is not great. As you can see, a lot of the value is sort of dispersed throughout the deck, and the zeros are also in the middle as well. So if he needs to break a card in an emergency, you've got to be very aware of where your zeros are.
Zexion is a true... Like, this... Honestly, this is... It was out of Recon, but I think in a casual setting, this is such a beautiful fight, probably, just because Zexion puts up a fight. He tries to defeat you. He really goes for it. If you play a card, he counters right away. He's really fast and just super powerfully active. And I think in a casual setting, it's probably a good fight, but in a speedrun, it's stressful. It's very, very stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful watching D-Wins go for 2-card combos to stun lock while Zexion has a 24 value Cyclone Smash stock. You know?
He had a really good
fight to pull it off like this, and it's really great to go in and watch you do this next. So good luck, Dessa.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna try. Okay. Unlike D-Wins, I like using... the duel here. There. I don't like... Oh, so something he can do as well is he can remove your enemy cards. He can dispel you. Which is bad, because he can therefore remove Dragon Maleficent if he wants to. Why did he not do anything?
Yeah,
I mean,
Overdrive, which you get very, very early on because of the story, is one of the most consistent enemy cards that Riku has access to, just dealing a flat 1.5 times damage, because you don't even have the reload penalty that you normally would in Sora, because Riku doesn't have any reload timer.
Yep. Okay, that was actually a decent fight. He didn't do any shenanigans, and I was just able to hit him a lot. A little bit slower maybe than D-Wins' fight, but I'm just happy I didn't die, honestly. This is beginner, but you can still die a lot. You can die against Zexy, you can die against Ansem, you can die on Lexis if it goes wrong. There are many places where you can die in. Beginner is pretty tough, and I don't want to imagine how proud it's gonna be like. So good luck to anyone doing that. I don't have zeros, that's bad, so I need to play a 7 if I have. Yep. This is the time where I end up having to use something like Lasting Days. Good thing is I go from bottom to right, and that's usually not as bad with it. Going top or left is bad, but to the right is not super bad. Now I'm gonna try and find an 8. I don't have an 8, I'm gonna use a Staggering Space 9. We do still have a lot of cards, but I have to be very careful about how I use them now. Wait. Oh, right. Staggering Space is super weird, because it doesn't put the... I think they put the... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no! Yeah, we are... I'm confused right now. Oh my god! So, two things happened. One, I accidentally used the wrong door, and two, that door made me use my blue 0.
Are we okay, Dessa? You gonna get that back at some point?
I don't worry about it. I'm just gonna do like 2 fights on Traverse Town, that's it.
Okay.
Oh god. Not good. Funny, because I didn't even need to use that blue 0. That's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. We got this.
I'm breaking right now. I brought back the 3-minute deficit.
All good.
I get to watch it slip
Don't
away.
worry about it. We're gonna do a roulette room, get a blue 0 out of that, and be fine. Throwing for content.
Meanwhile, D-Wins has beaten Riku 6 already.
It's all good. Oh wow, now I'm not getting roulette. Oops. Gonna be alright.
There wouldn't have to be roulette rooms in Riku's story, are there?
Now, blue 0, please.
Because if there's a roulette room, then you might be able to, like, actually get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for right now, but I actually didn't get a... didn't get a blue 0 out of it. Another thing is I haven't been to Traverse Town roulette rooms before, so I don't know where the enemies are. I have to find them all. Oh wow. There we go. Blue 0. There we go, there's one. Easy peasy.
You see, if this happened in GBA.com, you could spike your run into the garbage. Thank God for roulette rooms.
Yep.
I very nearly had to spike my run into the garbage when I didn't have an 8. I was sweating.
I started sweating the moment I used that. At the moment I realized I used that blue 0, and I started sweating even more. I realized I didn't need to use it. Wow. That's fine though. We're all good. Good thing is that the last Riku fight is not overly difficult.
Basically just stone locking him, right? Just like a lot of the other bosses here.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad we got to showcase this as well, because, like, Tom Sora has a lot of, like, you know, managing RNG, managing map cards, and a lot of technical fights with the Berserk. But Recom Riku is a really just straight-up technical category, where pretty much all you're doing is just executing most of the time, and just doing these really nice stun locks on these boss fights.
Hmm.
Pretty much any game can be reset heavy if you go hard enough in its Ojolix. I mean, like, we just had a race that was, like, perfectly fine where we didn't reset or die at all, and this run is also the same way. But if you want to go for record, you do want to get a good start in Com, and it's not really any different for other games.
Hmm.
Yeah, Riku GBA Com resets are Strong Initiative, and GBA Com Sora resets are Blizzards, and Recom doesn't even have... It's got manipulation for Sora, so...
Okay, so we're gonna position ourselves behind Riku, because that's the mistake I did on the first Riku fight. If you are behind him and stunlock him, then he would need to turn around until he plays a card. So being behind him doesn't give him enough time between the first and second hit to actually, well, turn around and use a card on you.
I think the attack animation is more instant in the GBA, where if you use it, the bosses can basically just instantly flip because it's 2D.
Okay, I think I also went for more HP than D-Wins did. I think it went for way more dark points.
Yeah, GBA Com Riku is basically just the Ansem lottery. Like, if you can kill Ansem on the first try, then you already have, like... You've already beaten my PB. Like, that's really...
Yeah, Ansem is like the truly difficult fight. Others are hard as well to go faster, but Ansem is hard to survive. If you want to survive on Ansem, good luck on that. Okay, now, do I have a free? We
didn't have available runners for 358 over 2, unfortunately. I do love that speedrun, though, and I would definitely recommend fans of the series check out the world records for 358 over 2 speedruns. Proud mode's actually the fastest because you go low health in that run very frequently to activate limit breaks.
I did offer Days and Recoded, but no one else did. I think IMJV started learning it a little bit after relay submissions closed, and Recoded just doesn't really have other runners besides me. A lot of times
for speedrunning, it just Recoded has like not as many good boss fights for me to want to get into it. But eventually I do plan to get into it. D-Win's about to finish up, so hopefully the runner for his team is on deck.
I think for BBS Terror Team Red, it's Captain Boogler, if I'm not mistaken. We're not far from flinching either. Okay, he's... Wait, did he die? I just saw a slow-mo, but I thought he won.
So if D-Win didn't say go, then I'm going to go, because...
No, he died!
Oh, he died! No, then I'm not going to say go. I'm wrong. I'm stupid. I saw the dead, and then I saw the black screen, like, and I got confused.
Yeah, same. I saw the slow-mo on my peripheral vision, was like, oh wait, he already won? That was a quick fight. So I looked at it and was like, wait, that is not Riku's move, then it's on there. So yeah, Ansem, he's not as hard in Recon, but he's still not a pushover.
SMN, I had about a 30-second lead, but the splits were late. Blue team had a 30-second lead after regular com, but it's going the other way now after recom.
due to my little blue zero mistake. Otherwise, it would have actually been very close now. Let's actually go with Sleeping Darkness.
Alright, go.
Oh, go for Red Team Terra.
All you.
Yep, that's D wins.